Hello, everyone. Welcome to the pre show. I'm still setting up. Sorry about that. Artemis should be here shortly. Let's see what we've got here. Do, do, do. Okay, I've sent Artemis the link, so she should be here shortly. Let's see. Excuse me. I guess since I'm here by myself, I can enjoy a bit of my lunch while I'm waiting. You guys can watch me play a little, um, catch up on my board game arena turns while we're waiting, I guess, since I'm really trying to finish my lunch, or breakfast slash lunch, really. I'm having baked fish and um, spinach, courtesy of my husband. Mhm, mhm. This is the llama tournament that has been going on since March of 2022. Just when I keep thinking it's over, I'm not even trying to play this game this well. I'm just like, okay, whatever, and keep moving. I don't know why this game is still going on. I don't know whoever set this tournament up like this didn't expect it to go on so long. I'm sure. Now, this is a game that I really like. But I give myself notes when I play this game because I forget from one turn to the next what I meant to do. I think of a strategy in my head, and then by the time my turn comes around again, I forget it. Yeah, the card I wanted was still there, thank goodness. Well, it appears that Artemis is here. Why don't we let her on in and get this party started? Hello, ma'am.
Hello, don't mind me just leaning casually.
You are so loud.
It's because I'm using this mic right there. There we
Can you
go.
hear me at all?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
I just wanted to make sure because I moved the mic away from my mouth so that you wouldn't hear me eating.
Yeah, I need to move my mic away because I have max volume at all times.
You are really loud.
I'm not even speaking that loud. I'm speaking so quietly right now.
You are so, so loud.
Maybe it's from the casual leaning.
Oh, God, I can't even remember how to play this game. Oh, my goodness.
Don't we
Oh,
have
my.
people to talk to, things to go over. What are you doing?
I'm trying to remember how to play this game. I started early. You weren't here, and there is nobody in this chat room, so we are here by ourselves, ma'am. So
Yeah,
we are doing
we can still
what?
keep up the order. What are you doing? Get out of Boy Game Arena.
I'm telling you right now, this coffee clutch is going to be all over the place today. I am not even going to throw up the banners.
No, I needed you to be my rock. I only got 5 hours of sleep. I got home from work at like 8 a.m. and went to bed and then had to get up to drive my roommate to work.
Oh, poor baby. Poor
When,
baby.
oh, now that I'm big, I'm gonna go back to casual leaning.
Okay, you look pitiful. So I guess it is past 2:30. I guess I could throw the banner up and start the intro, right?
Sure. I am also gonna be eating. I have a piece of
There's
leftover pizza.
there's not there's nothing you can do about that sound because you are really loud.
Are you sure it's not just your volume? What
Do
about
I need
this?
do I need to turn everything down or something? If I turn it down, is it going to be loud for?
Oh, there's a spider, there's a spider. It might be about to be really loud if I scream at this spider jumping at me. Get out. Oh.
Okay, say words.
There was just a spider crawling up my wall.
Okay, so I turned my volume down to 30. Does that affect my volume at all?
No, you sound fine. I had to turn my volume down when I came in because I'm using Wayne's headphones and he had those at max volume. So
Okay, so I turned my volume down to 30 so it won't blast my ears out. So hopefully that'll be cool.
Chloe, cut this out.
Okay, so I guess we'll put the banner up and get things started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Coffee Clatch. I am your hostess, Dani.
And I am your other host, Artemis or Maia, or the sleepy one. Call me Snorlax because I be sleeping.
Oh, poor baby. Poor baby. We are here to just keep you company on a Friday afternoon, and hopefully you can join us live and keep us company. But if you're watching this, video on demand, as it were, that's okay. We can still be your mukbang without the food, although I've got food today.
I also have food today,
Your background sound.
except ignore this casually.
Your background sound. Just the little voices in the background so that you don't have to watch Friends for the hundredth
100th time.
hundredth time. I was about to say 5011th time. So you don't have to watch Friends for the 100th time. You can listen to something different.
Also,
We
if you're
don't
watching Friends for the 100th time, go watch Living Single. It's also good.
Yes, that's a good recommendation. But so all to say, we are here to keep you company. So to start things off, what are you eating, dear? Since this is a coffee clutch, we should address the food and drink right up front. I decided.
Leftover pizza from yesterday.
I am having leftover from
Ooh.
your father's lunch. This is baked chicken
Mm-hmm.
and spinach with cheese on top. I like spinach, don't make faces.
I like
Spinach with
spinach.
cheese on top and some sauteed onions.
Ooh, sauteed onions. Chicken, yes. Sauteed onions, yes.
That your
Spinach.
father picked up from the Chinese American buffet
Okay, nice.
because he's back on keto, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm on keto by default.
Speaking of Chinese buffets, there's one Chinese buffet that we normally go to, or that we used to go to all the time back when we lived 2 towns over. But because we now live we live in Asheville, we live in a much bigger town. It's there's a lot more like spaces around, like a lot more restaurants around. So we're like, okay, let's find another Chinese place to go to. And we went to one up the road. And we're like, oh, this is going to be our new Chinese spot, or whatever. And it was really cute. It was like kind of tucked away in a corner. And I am just
I'm
very,
hearing a butt coming.
yes, I am very frustrated because it was like, I will fully admit I love, and this is no hate to like any of the people making the food, but there's like gourmet food and there's like we made this shitty Chinese food for these American people so that they will eat it and we can make some money.
Uh,
Like,
mhm.
yeah, which I love it. It is not made for Chinese people. It is made for American people. And I love a shitty Chinese buffet. So good.
Mhm.
And that is what we had before. And so we're like, oh, we found another like another like trashy Chinese buffet. Not trashy as in the people, but trashy as in like this food was made for American people. Um,
Mhm.
and it was just not, they were really like, y'all are Americans, we don't want to do anything for you. They, first of all, they had like spare ribs up on the buffet. But it was just not, it was not the thing. Like the fried rice just did not taste as flavorful. The chicken that I got, and we may have just gone at a bad time because there was like nobody there at the time we went there, so we may have just gone at a bad time. Maybe we'll try it again. But like I got some sesame chicken, and the like, normally when I go to my other Chinese buffet, the chicken is like soft and like tender and like good, and this chicken was like kind of crunchy, like maybe it had been sitting there for a while, it got dry. Like it still had the sauce on it, but it was like underneath the sauce, it was like kind of crunchy. Like either they like fried it too much or it had been sitting there and got dry because it was like the slow time of day or something.
Well,
It was a
some
bummer.
places double fry um their sesame chicken. They double fry the chicken and then put the sauce after. That's just the way some places do it.
Maybe that was it, but it was like there were some pieces that were crunchy and some pieces that were tender. So I don't know if they were meant to be crunchy and some of them didn't get crunchy, or
So
they were meant to be
it
tender.
wasn't crispy in a good way. It was crunchy like it was dried out.
Yes. It
Mm,
was unfortunate. So we are still looking for a new Chinese food spot,
mm, mm.
which is a bummerino.
And what's your beverage for today's coffee clutch?
Where did I put it? Hawaiian punch. Hawaiian punch, surf and
I
stuff.
I forgot my water.
I also
I'm
forgot that.
drinking coffee as usual. My coffee is always the same. The only thing that changes is the creamer. Today's creamer is Great Value brand chocolate caramel.
Great value.
I like Great Value liquid creamers. I may have mentioned before the what's the word I'm trying to think of?
I had no clue.
Powdered creamers taste medicinal to me now. They taste
Medicinal.
they taste very chemical.
I mean, I have not had powder creamer in years, so I would not be able
Well,
to.
yeah, that's the problem. The same thing with us. We've been doing liquid creamer for quite a while, and then but we still have some powdered creamer as backup. Like if we run out of liquid creamer, here's some powdered creamer just until we can get to the grocery store. And last time I tried to use powdered creamer, it was like this is not the thing.
Not the thing. Not quite it. Dang, I'm surprised that we don't have Ronald. We don't have Ari.
The liquid creamer just blends more smoothly. I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of
Something going on.
convention going on. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because Ronald does be doing things. Ari is working right now, so I'm not super surprised that we don't have
Ari's
Ari.
working, and
But
Ronald has a life.
Ronald is a man about town, international man of mystery.
Ronald has a life. So, do we want to go ahead and start with the life update?
Yeah, let's start going down this list.
Okay. So, well, we were going to show your new digs, but really the main person who wanted to see your new digs was Ronald, and he's
Who
not
is
here.
not here. He can watch afterwards, but I'm just gonna spin around a little bit so you can see this is my office. I've set up in a nice space. Look at all that space. I actually cleaned. So there is all like that is all clear space right behind me. I have one box right behind me that's got stuff for polymer clay that I'm gonna tuck under the table now. But all of that's cleared. We're gonna pretend that this doesn't exist because I'm going to be cleaning it shortly. It's really just yarn because there's the one box that's got yarn, a bag of yarn, and then the box that's closest. Where is it? There, the box that's closest that has my sewing machine in it that will be on the table that you guys are on shortly as soon as I have the energy to do it. Because after moving all this, because I moved, this is a 6-foot table that does not fold, and so I moved this and then moved my TV up onto the desk, and then right here, oh, you can just barely see it on the camera. Right here is my file cabinet that I got for free from Facebook Marketplace like years and years ago. This thing is heavy. It is not light, and it has a lot of things in it because I've put things in it. So it is heavy, and the 2 bottom drawers don't lock. And so if you try to tilt it, then the drawers will like fly open. So I was like, I was like scooting it along the carpet. And then there's like boxes tucked away over there, which I don't need to see this, but it's nice. I will.
You've been in there nearly a month now. I mean, you missed the first week because you were on vacation, but
yes,
you've been in there nearly a month now. How are you feeling about it?
I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. Especially the office. I think moving from the other office into this house. This house is a little bit bigger than the other house, but also I feel like there's a lot more like storage space. So I've got like, because my office has a closet, because in the other house my office didn't have a closet, it was like a spare room. It was just a big open room, and so I've got a lot of stuff. Hello, Ari. Why are you not at work? What are you doing? Anyway, because
and also, I mean, I hate to interrupt you, but StreamYard, because I didn't see this comment until I went to YouTube on my other screen over here.
Oh, I saw it pop up. I was just talking. I was fully prepared to ignore all this.
But the on my end, it's supposed to show me that somebody's watching, and even with me and Ari both watching on different computers,
it doesn't show up.
It still says 0 people are watching.
So we could have hundreds of viewers right now.
That's why I thought, whatever. Don't exaggerate. But I thought, okay, that's why I thought nobody was here, and I was just
talking into the void.
Oh,
I love that the emojis don't show up over on StreamYard. And so it says face pink tears, face pink tears. The emojis do not show up on StreamYard. That's hilarious.
Poor dude.
But I was gonna acknowledge you in a minute, Ari. But this place has a closet, so a lot of my storage space that we got Ronald.
Hola, Ronald.
Hello, Ronald. This is my new office. Since you wanted to see the house, also we're gonna ignore this file, Ronald. We're not talking about this. But I've got all of the stuff that in my old office that, like, if I ever spun the camera around, there was like boxes and bags and stuff everywhere. A lot of that stuff is now tucked in the closet, so I have space to work. So if I decide to lay out some fabric and sew some things, which I'm hoping to do in the next like couple weeks, I can like do what the cute YouTube girlies did in the early 2000s and like spread out on the carpet. And then that's the little corner next to the last time we were streaming. Where am I pointing? There we go. The last time we were streaming, I was back in that little corner nook because the door to the room, thank you. The door to the room is right here. And so right behind the door is my little corner nook over here. And that little nook has its own like lights. There's I can turn on the light just above there. And so that's going to be.
That's where you were sitting last stream, right?
Yeah, that's where I was sitting last stream, but that is now going to be my makeup station because you can't see, that is a very you can kind of see how close the wall is to that desk. That's a very tight squeeze. Like I can just barely fit this chair in there. And so I'm going to get probably one of my folding chairs that I keep for market. I'm going to set a folding chair back there to sit and do my makeup and stuff. And this is going to be where I stream from now on. I want to get some LEDs, hang up my little thing.
I'm glad that you have more space. I miss your tapestry.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to hang the tapestry because I wanted to get one of those green screen like frames anyway. So I might do that and then just put the tapestry behind me so you're not seeing the whole room.
Yes, Ronald has to go to another meeting. So he's going to abandon us again.
Ronald, I need you to tell these people that you're having these meetings with that you have an important appointment every Friday. What is going on? Do they not know? Does the world not know? This is when we stream?
At 2 p.m. every week. Oh, no. Bummer.
No. Well, we were talking about trying to switch days anyway because there's a market that is literally right down the road from me that is Friday evenings. It starts at like 3 p.m., I think. So I would like to try to switch days so that I can pick up that market and then I can have a market every Friday and a market every Saturday because that is extra money for me.
Well, can you do earlier on Friday video
Um, it
or
depends on
no?
what time, and it depends on what time, and it depends on when I switch jobs because I'm
Okay.
eventually getting out of this third shift job because right now I am like I just told you earlier. I got out of work. I got home from work at 8 a.m. We were supposed to get
Oh,
off
a
at five
show with
thirty.
Dubs. Wait a minute. We have to
Woo!
break into TV stuff for a second. The
All right.
Devil's Plan. Okay, I got to know about this because we are on the last episode of Race. What is it? Race to Survive Alaska or something on
What?
Peacock.
What?
I
We have
told
been
you.
away for too long. I don't know any of these shows.
I told you we were going to be all over the place today because I am very. My life update is that I am very. I can't find a word to make people understand how I feel because if I just say tired, people go, "Girl, I'm tired too." I don't think you understand. I can barely
Fatigued.
lift my body out of the bed. I have enough energy to do this,
Yeah.
so I don't want everybody to feel like woe is me. I have enough energy to do this, but the setup to do this, I
Hmm.
have to get out of bed. I have to put clothes on. I have to go get my coffee and get some food, which by the way, I
Mm.
have no appetite these days. And I think that's contributing to my lack of
Energy.
anything to hold my body up because I really don't want to eat food. But
I feel that.
I'm making myself like it like if somebody brings home something that's particularly sounds tasty, then I can kind of convince my mouth that I want some.
Hmm.
But for the most part, like the stuff that we normally buy from the grocery store and stuff, I'm not even looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's what Wayne
It's
and I
like
call feeling bleh. I'll just get up
and
and I
so
say,
I
I'm
just
feeling bleh.
and I all the MS forums say, when I try to look up how to handle, the fatigue and stuff like that, and their first thing is exercise. And I'm like, well, I can't get out of bed. So how am I supposed to exercise to generate some energy if I can't get out of bed? Number one. And number two, you and I have discussed this. I have never been one of those people who and everybody says, well, you haven't stuck with it enough. No, I've gone because I've looked back at my logs and I've had periods where I've gone like 3 to 6 months exercising regularly, like 3 or 4 days a
Now
week.
Ronald's calling me out. I'm drinking Hawaiian punch.
He's not drinking it. She's not drinking anything crazy, Ronald.
But you calling me out for drinking out of the pitcher instead of having a cup.
But I am. No, he probably thought you were drinking some sort of mixed drink,
Ooh,
and
now
you
me
were
having a Borg
fake
like the
drinking it
children.
like the children. But Ronald, Devil's Playing. What network is this on so I can write it down?
Yeah, what streaming service? And we'll put it in the for people following after the fact. If you're watching this afterwards in your evening and everything, we will put this in the caption below so that you can find the show,
Oh,
watch along
whatever.
with us, and we will be discussing it next time.
Okay, I'm typing right
Ooh, it's on
now.
Netflix.
Devil's Playing. Okay, so
On the flicks.
you can just ignore the bottom of this list, Maya, because I'm just
Mm-hmm.
putting down that it's a suggestion from Ronald. Okay,
You're
cool,
good.
cool, 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 cool. Cool, cool, cool. Cool. Can't wait to check it out because we need something new to watch. Okay. What other life update do we have? So that's me tired as all get out and I feel like my cold may be coming back.
You said something in the list about lipstick.
Oh, that was just a random thought of, we came back from vacation. I only wear lipstick once a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? And So I this time wearing the lipstick. Most of the lipsticks I have right now, I have one or two that I bought, but most of the lipsticks that I have were given to me where somebody got it like free in a gift bag or something, but they've come from places that are more expensive than I go to, so I don't want to throw them away. Like, um the makeup counters at
Yeah.
the Dillards or whatever. So I don't want to throw them away, but I think I've had them too long because every time I open them up to put them on, they smell so bad.
Throw them away. Lipstick expires. Makeup
They
expires.
they smell so bad. The color is so nice, but they smell so bad
You can
that I
find the
that I
goop.
ended up putting some sort of lip. I have this lip gloss that has,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that have like the spongy tip
Yeah.
with the yeah, and it smells like bubble gum or cotton candy or something
Not
like that. And
you
so I end
for
up putting that
breezing over
over
your expired nasty lipstick. Mother, throw it away. Thank you, Ronald. Also, Ari, so
for breathing
Netflix.
my lipstick. That is so funny.
Yes, what are you doing? Ari, so Netflix did say that they're not doing the sharing thing, but we think everybody come in close and don't say anything to Netflix because I don't want them to know that we're listening. If they're listening, they'll you to listen whenever I say things because I have good things to say about Spotify. Everybody coming close. I can still use my mother's Netflix from my house. I don't know why my camera just went out. I can still use my mother's Netflix from my house, and it has not been charging me.
It's
So
Netflix trying to silence you.
Netflix is trying to silence me because they don't want the world to know, but I can still use her Netflix and it has not been extra charging her for anything. So I don't know what's going on with that, but maybe you can try to use whoever's Netflix you had because maybe they were just like, we'll scare a few people and the people that stayed strong, I guess they deserve
I just read an article. Okay, let's go through these life updates before I get too.
it. Okay, yes, throw out your
Old
lipstick.
landlady news. I know that's not me because I don't.
That's
So you so
me.
so you're enjoying your new digs, right?
Yeah, I like the new house. It's good.
Good. It's
Maybe
working out.
eventually I'll go and do like some pictures and so that you guys can see like the whole house.
That'll be
But
cool.
yeah, so old landlady news, and I am don't mind me cheesing and kikiing over here, because I don't wish bad upon anybody. I am a child of God and wish everybody to wish things to be happy. But between you and me,
And the fence post.
in the fence post, Wayne, my husband, sent me a message the other day, and it was an article about a lady in Asheville who was driving her very expensive, hard to find Mustang down the road. She stepped out of her car, left her car and her keys, and someone's like, turn around, someone's stealing your car. And she's like, no way. And she turned around and someone was stealing her car, so her car is gone. And she's like, oh, woe is me. How could this happen? And guess who that lady was who got her car stole?
Oh no.
It was my old landlady.
Karma. Karma.
She got her car stole. So,
Karma.
because I don't know how much,
We are children of God. We don't wish bad on anybody, but karma
but if the
pays
bad
out.
happens, I'm not going to wish it on anybody, but if the bad happens,
Okay, so before we get up into
we've got so much car stuff here in the Twin Cities. My buddy who has a Kia has had it stolen twice and he got it back both times. Bruh, how do you lose
yeah,
your car twice?
because Kias
The
and
same car.
there's another one. There's a Ford something or other. Little cars that you think are not fancy cars. They're
Uh-huh.
real popular with the teenagers trying to just like joyride, and so
Yeah.
there's certain brands that are, I think there's a Hyundai or something. Yes, Ronald, Hyundai, that are just like really popular. Because I've read more than one article of people who are like, my car just keeps getting stolen.
Meanwhile,
Because
I've got my old Honda.
there's certain brands that there's an anti-theft thing that a lot of the newer cars have in them. I don't even know if my husband's cars have this in it because I know nothing about cars. But there's something about an anti-theft thing that since like 2000 or 2010 or something that all the cars have been putting in, and Hyundai and Kia and a couple other ones have been taken to court because they either said they had it but they don't,
Ooh.
or they just didn't bother putting it in something. So,
Mm-hmm.
so the knowledge is out there now that those
Because those
particular
cars don't
models
have
are just
alarms.
real easy to steal because they
Not
don't
them.
have
Oh
this
my goodness.
anti-theft thing.
Not them ruining
I
it
don't know
for
if it's
all of their
I don't know if it's like
customers.
an alarm, or I think it's more like something in
Like a
there
tracker kind of thing.
that makes it, well, makes it difficult for them to like hotwire the car.
Oh, okay.
Because back in the 70s, you used to be able to take something apart and do something and get two wires, and then you could drive the
Mm-hmm.
car without having the keys. And apparently, most cars nowadays fixed it so you can't do
You can't do
that.
that. Yeah.
But these new cars, these few brands or whatever, have
Mm-hmm.
it.
FYI, I still have y'all here, but y'all are on mute, so I can't hear you. Okay.
Oh, poor Ronald. Well, enjoy your meeting. And
But yeah, so
thanks for streaming us anyway.
thank you.
So, yes. Yes.
So let's see. While
Market
you
re-
are
market recap
typing.
is what I want.
Oh, okay. Market recap. I wrote some things down, but I don't think I got around to writing everything down in my market recap. Let me see. I need to update my Google Keep, but I keep every time I open the Google Keep, it's because I need it, and so I never refresh it when I don't need it. Okay.
You
So
have to
this past,
refresh it. Mine, it just automatically refreshes.
well, mine it said like there's some updates and you have to refresh your Google Keep to get the updates, and but it
Oh.
says that every time I open, so I keep dismissing it. Because
Oh.
every time I open my Google Keep, I need to write something down. But so I didn't write down all of the things I need to write down. But so this past weekend was on Friday. I went to a wedding. I had my friend Bryn, who also lives in Nashville. She is doing permanent tattooing now, but she does still pick up some weddings to help like pad her account in between doing big tattoos and stuff. And whenever she works weddings, we both like to work weddings together. We both don't like to be the only person on a wedding. And so anytime either of us gets weddings, we usually try to invite each other so that we can have two artists there and both be working. So we did a wedding. I also saw Ari this past weekend, but that's not part of the market recap. Are you jumping the line? What? But so Friday, went to the wedding. The place was gorgeous, but it was like basically this entire huge plot of area, like acres and acres, and there's like woods and stuff, but it's all like once you enter a certain area, you're driving past like down this road is a summer home and down this road is a summer home, and like Battling Creek Avenue and Hummingbird Lane and all of these roads that lead to these big expensive like summer homes. And so I'm like driving down this winding road or whatever, and then at like the epicenter of it is a country club. And so it took me a minute to find the where to park. It's like you turn down this road and like, no, that's the parking for the tennis
Wasn't
courts.
your prom in a country club?
What's my prom? Yes, my prom was it was in some kind of country club ish area, but it was not as like tucked
Well,
away.
yeah, but it was Gastonia Country Club.
Yeah,
It wasn't as lush as
it
this
was not
place that you're talking
luxury. These people were in luxury, and you know how I know they were in luxury? We sat down and we were like, so there's the country club, and then we were down in a little nook in between two trees with little chairs in this little nook, and then down below us, you can go down the
about. Oh,
stairs,
so y'all
and
were
there
sitting
was
outside doing this?
yes. And so
Okay.
you could go down the stairs, and there was the party on like the little deck right by the water, right by I think it was a lake, or yeah, it was too big to be a river. It was like right down by the lake. And then just below us was a fire pit also that no one used. They lit up the fire pit. This is something that Brandon and I were both upset about. They lit up the fire pit, set out supplies for s'mores, and no one used them. And I'm like,
Oh
the
no.
waste, the s'mores waste.
Hmm.
Anyway, so
Your aunt Terry would have been there first. Cause
exactly.
she's got a fire pit in her backyard. She's all about the fire pit.
That's one of the things I was mad about was because our last apartment with the landlady who just got her car stole, there was a fire pit at that house and we used it to make s'mores. And now we're at a new house. We're at a townhouse and there's no fire pit and I can't
Well,
make s'mores.
you should go visit Aunt Terry. She's always trying to get people to come over to use her fire pit, and I am not a fire pit gal.
how are you not a fire pit girly? What do you
I don't
mean?
because once it's cold enough to be outside and want to sit next to a fire, then it's not comfortable. In the summer, it's too hot to be next to a fire pit, in my opinion. Okay. And then in the winter, when it gets cold enough to be near the fire pit, you're all bundled up and you're hot from the front because of the fire and you're cold from the back. I don't
Okay.
understand people who want to sit out there for hours. I did it once with her. And I
Okay.
don't understand wanting to sit out there for hours and drink your wine in the glass that's freezing because it's outside.
So I need to clarify two things. One, Aria S'mores Maker is not the same. It doesn't smell like burning wood. Two, mother, you said in the summer it's too hot. In the winter it's too cold. I don't know if you knew about this, but us millennials, we came up with a new season in between. It's like brunch, but in between summer and winter, there is
I
fall,
know
or
what
the
you're trying to
bougie people
yeah,
call it autumn.
we don't have fall or autumn in North Carolina. We go
Yes,
straight
we
from summer
do.
to
What
winter.
do you mean? It is autumn right now. It is
It is not
so
autumn. I've got all the air conditioners going right now. It's 80 degrees here.
just because you have gone through the change and can't recognize autumn.
It is 81 degrees right
What
now.
is the temperature here at my house? Oh, see, you got 81. We've got a cool 76.
Still, it's 76. Why would you want to sit in front of a fire at 76
76
degrees?
with shade and a little bit of wind chill. The fire will be, maybe it's because I live in the mountains. Maybe it's because I live in the
Maybe it's
mountains.
the mountains and y'all have different breezes up there because here
We got those autumn
it's
races.
just humid and sticky.
But anyway, so anyway, so and I'm gonna send you some stuff in
And to be fair, people, I have already gone through the change. Medically, once you pass a year, you're already gone. The change has already happened. I'm just old now.
oh yeah, I was fully just throwing shade for no reason. Oh, where are my videos of the place?
You, however, are on the cusp. So
Get out, cuss, get out. I'm only 30. No.
a lot of women
Cuss.
started 30.
Stop. You stop that right now.
It's not like you're planning to have any babies, so why should you
You
care?
don't know. What if I change my mind?
You're not gonna change your mind. Go ahead. Okay,
Um,
so the
yeah, so go back into here. I will can I ping it? Can I pin it? Bump it. There we go. I just bumped the message in your messenger, but so they can see the place because it was
okay.
absolutely gorgeous. And when you bring the video, I'll see if I can point out some stuff because the place is gorgeous. There's that video, and then there's a video of the bathroom. Because, in my opinion, if your bathroom is bougie, there's so much going on. You don't know, Ari. Why is everybody presuming to know my life? Just because I am an open book, I need you guys, I need to have at least a little bit of mystery.
Okay. Why is this thing not wanting to show me
I do not know.
that I have Messenger open and
Yes.
it's acting like it's not there. Okay, wait a
I don't
minute.
know.
Oh, I have to maximize the window before you will act like it's there. What? What is your
So, Chloe, I'm going to need you to cut all of this out. Technical difficulties.
Oh, shut up.
I'm actually throwing all the messages up. Goodness. Okay. Ooh, this is chugging.
Okay,
Oh well.
is it showing it?
Well, it showed it for like a second, but then you click the full screen button and it did not full screen. It froze. I wonder why it's not working because you show videos on here all the time.
Okay, I know. Okay, okay, what are you doing now? Okay, stop that. Let's see if we can do it again.
All right, I am no Ronald. Are you saying I am not an international man of mystery? How dare you? How dare you?
Okay.
What are these messages I get? I keep getting emails from UNCA. It's so weird. There we go. So you guys can see that is where we were sitting. So we were tucked in between some trees. And then there is the lake that we were on. And then, the video, I think the video is reversed. Okay, so there's the lake. And then over towards the right, it's going to pan around again. But basically over towards the right, down the hill is, you can see the fire pit tucked right down there at the little bottom. And then further to the right, I didn't want to get anybody on camera because it was not my wedding. And I knew I was sending this to my mother and possibly showing it on the stream. But over further to the right was the party. But they were partying and dancing. And first of all, the DJ was hilarious. He was like, so we know that the bride is white, but I'm going to need y'all to make some noise because she's going brown. She's getting married to an Indian. And we know that once you go brown, you get loud. And I'm like, what? This man was hilarious. And he sounded like one of the DJs. He sounded like a DJ on the cruise. That's how hype he was for the like 30 people that were down there. He was hype enough for an entire cruise ship is what was going on.
Oh Lord.
Yes. And so he's like, all right, we've got the groom coming over. Why don't we make some noise? And so they start making some noise, and you look across the water, and across the water, the groom is coming across the water to the deck on a boat. That is how the groom got to the party, was across the lake on a boat.
Oh Lord.
Yes. What is that? It was so bougie. And Brent and I both thought that we were going to be there for, Ronald, I wish I could hear what was going on with this chat. But we thought, I wonder if we could figure out how to get subtitles, automatic subtitles on here so Ronald could read what we're saying. So we both thought that we were only going to be there for 2 hours, but it turns out like everyone showed up a little bit later. Everything started a little bit later. And so the bride was like, actually it's going to be an extra hour. And we're both like, okay, that's going to be an extra $100 for each of us. And she's like, okay, sure. And I'm like, who is this lady? Who is this lady? And so that's when Brent and I started talking, and I was like speculating. I was like, what is going on? Ronald, don't get in trouble. But I was like, that's when I was like, what is going on? Who is this lady? And so turns out this lady is absolutely friggin' loaded. So that yellow pillow that you saw in the video, she designed the pattern for that. She's a fashion designer. She designed those pillows, and I felt a little bad because I got henna on mine, but I mean, that's what happens when you hire henna artists and give them pillows. But I really tried. It was fully an accident. I was not like doing stuff I was fighting. It was an accident.
I keep telling you, you need to get some sort of cute apron or cloth to sit on or something.
Well, no, I didn't get henna on me. My outfit was fine. And I was wearing like an outfit that I was wearing that same jumpsuit. I think that's what I was wearing. I was wearing that same jumpsuit. Or no. I was wearing my white top that day. What am I doing?
Yeah, you were wearing your white top, and we need to get new jumpsuits. I saw some jumpsuits on Amazon. You need to get new jumpsuits since that is a look that works well on you.
I do
like to get some more for these kind of
events. Yes, because the jumpsuit is easy to throw on because it's one piece instead of me having to skirt and top. Oh, this top doesn't work. Different top. Oh, this top doesn't work with this skirt.
You look put together in a jumpsuit.
Thank you.
You could still crochet like a top with belts.
Yeah, to go with it.
To go with the jumpsuit. Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like, who is this lady? And so we started like looking her up, and one of the wait staff came over because they had by the time they had like finished everything, and the wait staff asked their boss, and they're like, can we go? And then so the wait staff came over and got tattoos too. But we were talking, and so I finally got the lady's name and looked her up, and she was in like Huffington Post and all of these different magazines. And we went to her website. The cheapest thing on her website is a $300 dress.
Yep.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely.
As soon as I saw that she used to have a business in New York before she moved down here and opened her shop down here, I was like, oh yeah, she's used to high prices. Your $100 an hour is not going to
It's nothing. And this was her second wedding because they went and had a wedding over in India for his family that couldn't come travel over, and then came over and had a second, like they had a traditional Indian wedding over there, and then came over and had an American style wedding over here. So this is her second wedding.
Yeah, the Jonas who married Priyanka Chopra did the same thing. I don't remember which Jonas it is, I think I want to say Nick, but I could be wrong. But the only reason I know this is because they had their second ceremony for his family in Belmont.
No,
Yes, because they own a restaurant in Belmont. I still haven't been there yet,
we need
but
to
they
go.
own the restaurant in Belmont.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah,
crazy. I need to go. I need to go down
because
and
he's
visit you, and
like
we'll
his
go.
their grandmother's family is like from Belmont.
Oh, that's
So they
crazy.
have like family connection, even though they were raised, I think, in Texas or
Uh
something,
huh.
but they have family connections in North Carolina.
That is crazy. I didn't know that. But
Mhm.
so we did all that, and we
That's
had
the end of the celebrity gossip that I know, because I don't keep up with celebrity gossip.
me either. Unless they're playing video games, unless they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, I don't know you. Um, but so Bryn and I were talking because like it's been a while since we've been able to like sit down and chat. So we were like sitting and chatting and everything. I'm maybe going to get together with her for a tattoo sometime because she's tattooing now. Um,
So
but
she was your like mentor on the whole.
no,
No.
Bryn is my friend. Bryn is like the
Okay.
same age as me, or maybe a year younger than me, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, so we are
I
the
thought
same age.
your mentor had decided to go into tattooing
She
too.
did. They both did.
Okay.
Yeah. So my mentor originally started doing tattooing back like in 1993 when I was friggin' born, and just recently switched to permanent tattooing, just because she wanted like a change, a different vibe. Bryn wanted to go into permanent tattooing to begin with, but when she did her tattoo apprenticeship, her apprentice was River, who it was also a henna artist, and so she started Bryn doing henna tattoos and doing piercings in the shop as a trade for her apprenticeship because apprenticeships cost like a
Hmm.
couple $1,000s a year for the apprenticeships. And so instead of doing the apprenticeship, instead of having to pay for the apprenticeship or instead of having to pay for all of it, she was able to do a work trade in the shop
Hmm. Okay.
that she worked in. Yeah. And so that's how Bryn got into doing henna. Now she's doing permanent tattooing, but she still does some henna on the side to make some money. But so we were chatting and everything, and then the time came, like it was maybe 30 minutes to an hour before the time we were supposed to leave, but no one else, like we had tattooed all the guests that wanted tattoos, and then we tattooed all of the wait staff that wanted tattoos too.
Uh,
And so we were just sitting there, and it was getting dark because the end time was 9 p.m. And so the sun had already started going down. They brought out some like lanterns that like almost helped, because I don't think
mhm.
they thought about the fact that the sun was going to be going down, so we couldn't quite see. And my silly self, don't keep my lantern that actually does help in my car. I need to move that to my car now, for when I have night markets and things. But so we were sitting there chilling, and then 9 o'clock comes, and so Bryn is like, "I'll go find the party planner." And
Mhm.
see about getting our payment because they also tipped us. They tipped us ahead of time. She gave us an envelope with um, it was like $100 in it.
Mhm.
So $50 tip for both of us. And so
Well, that was nice.
yes, it was very nice. And so we split that up, and then but we were waiting for our proper payment, and so she went and found the party planner, and the party planner is like, okay, I'll go find the bride and we'll get this sorted out. So she goes to find the bride, and then she comes back to Bryn, and she's like, so the bride said that her phone died and she needs her phone to be charged so that she can Venmo you the money. So she said if you guys want to go ahead, and she
Who's got
will.
Venmo?
First of all,
This
exactly.
is
You know
this is North Carolina. Venmo's a West Coast
no,
thing.
you know who has Venmo? White people.
Yes, that too. Black people do Cash App, but okay.
We don't do Venmo. And my friend Bryn is
No,
white, and the bride was
I
white.
think of Venmo as a West Coast
Yeah,
Silicon Valley thing,
yeah,
because
but
Venmo was out before Cash App and all these other ones. You see,
Rob,
Ronald, yes, white people.
yeah, because those are all the people that whenever I do henna at events and stuff, those are the people that ask, oh, can you run a card or can you do Venmo? And I'm like, Cash App.
You
I can
might as
even
well. You might as well get. I mean, it's not
okay.
like it costs you anything.
I
Not
was
to get
going to
Venmo.
because so many people asked me to do Venmo. I was going to, and then I went to sign up for Venmo, and there's an issue with Venmo. I don't know if I'm ever going to get this sorted, so I'm just going to say, Ronald said, irrespective of race. Thank you very much. Okay, sorry, Ronald. Bushy people. Um, but so I was going to sign up for Venmo, but there's an issue. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to get this sorted. So I'm just going to tell people I can't do Venmo. I can do Cash App or I can run your card. Because Wayne signed up for Venmo, but it was, I think, at a time when he didn't have a working phone with a number. So he signed up for Venmo with my phone number because my phone's never been turned off. And so there is a Venmo account, but it has his name and my phone number. And I have not been able to change it. I can't sign up for Venmo with my work number. I can't, or with my business number. I mean, it's just, it was giving me a headache the day I worked on it. I have not looked at it since. And so I'm not working on it right now. But so she said, so the party planner comes back and she's like, the bride says that her phone is dead and she needs her phone to be charged so that she can Venmo you the money. If you guys want to go ahead and go and and she said in about an hour or so, whenever her phone is charged, then she will Venmo you the money. And Bryn, smart thinking Bryn, is like, because I am so like pandering to people, I would be like, okay, all right, sure, I'll go. Bryn is like,
nice.
Yeah, Bryn is like, no. And to herself, she was like, this woman is drinking. She is going to forget. She's been drinking all day. She's going to forget. So Bryn is like, actually, we can't do that. It's part of our policy that we need to get paid before we leave the event. And so the party planner is like, okay, I'll go talk to the bride. And so she goes to talk to the bride and then comes back to Bryn. And she says to Bryn, she's like, okay, the bride said, do you mind to stay for like an hour for her phone to get charged? And Bryn is like, she can pay us for an extra hour. We're not just gonna sit here for an hour. And so the lady goes back and talks to the bride, and the bride finally makes her way up to her fucking room to like, all she's got to do is sit there with her phone for like 5 minutes for it to turn on.
Charge, exactly. Plugged into the thing. Yeah.
But I was like, what?
Because it's a wedding and she's been drinking and she doesn't want to stop whatever fun thing she's doing to have to go pay y'all.
Exactly, but this woman runs a freaking business. Yeah, like I don't normally care to like ask for the money after the fact because that makes it easier for me to ask for a tip or for me to expect a tip. Is if people are paying after the fact and like, oh, she did such a great job and she only charged this much, I'll give her a tip. So I usually ask for my money after the fact, especially if I'm swiping cards because my card reader has a tip thing on it. But I was like, leave and come back. Wait an hour. I was like, ma'am, what if I said, hey, can I have one of those $500 dresses from your website? But actually, can I pay you in 3 months when I get paid, when I've got the money for that? Like, that is the exact same vibe that you're giving right now. Just leave and I'll pay you later. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What do you mean? So she eventually worked her drunk way up not drunk at a wedding, like she's partying, she's having her wedding, but like, man. So she eventually worked her way up there and got her phone and cashed out to Bryn the $600, and then Bryn or Venmo Bryn the $600, and then Bryn PayPal'd it to me so that I could have my money.
You have PayPal?
I got PayPal, I got Cash App, I got Square. I can run your MasterCard, I can run your Visa. I just cannot do Venmo.
You got PayPal on your phone though, right?
I do.
Good.
Yes.
Good girl.
Absolutely. I've got all my things on my phone because that is the thing that I really.
So last week was a profitable week for you.
Yes, all of that was just about the wedding. I didn't even talk about the Festival of Heroes the next day because that was just crazy nonsense for me. Festival of Heroes is the next day. It was great. It was wonderful. There were so many people. At the wedding, just to cover like prices of things that I made. At the wedding, I made $300. I made $320, I want to say, because there was the $50 tip, but I bought some henna cones off of Bryn because her henna cones were delicious, perfect. And so I was like, hey, you've got a bunch of extra henna cones here. Do you mind if I just like buy some if you're not gonna, because she doesn't really use them right now because she's permanent tattooing. And I was like, and she's like, sure. So I bought several cones off of her. So I made about $320 at the wedding. And then I went to the Festival of Heroes the next day and made almost $600. It was very good. I gotta get back to work. Bye, Ari. Bye, Ari.
Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend, Ari.
Have fun at work. Tell Tyler to log on to the stream. Anyway, so I made almost $600 at the Festival of Heroes the next day, and that was all like doing henna, selling amigurumis and stuff. My amigurumis on my table. So you saw the little like montage video that I made.
Yeah.
That video that was that video that was panning across my table and it like hovered over my amigurumi table. That was from last Saturday, the Festival of Heroes. That table was damn near empty when I left. There were, I think, 5 items left on the table when I left. And I was very surprised. Like my, this is turning into one of those, I made $500 at the market and let's see what sold and what didn't because I'm a, anyway.
I wish you would be one of those girls who said I made $500 at the market.
I mean, I did this past Saturday. It was just a big market. So, and that's $500. Like, after
wait a minute. You're seriously saying you made $500 at
yes,
Faye Haven?
Yes, it was the Festival of Heroes. It was a big event. Yes, I made
Faye. We love you so much.
Faye Nectar. I made. Actually, I can pull up. Let me pull up my thing, my square, and see how many card swipes I did, and I remember how much cash I had. But I can tell you exactly how much I made because I had $130 cash, and then reports sales for a week ago. Not a month ago. Select the time frame. Last Saturday. Ooh, but not like all of that. Come on. Done. All right. Let's see, and pull up my calculator. Yeah, at the market last week, I made $521.
Oh wow, that's great! I'll tell your father. It makes us breathe easier when you have weeks like that. So
yeah, it was a very good week. So that's
let him know.
So that's $521 on top of the $300 that I made at the market. So I made about $800 last weekend. Cool. Or that did the wedding. Yeah. Cool. So the things that sold. The little, because remember I was showing all the stuff that I made last week. The things that sold, the little baby squids, I sell those for $10. All of those sold. I think all of those are gone. The 2 rabbits that I made, both of those are gone. I made a snake that I didn't show last week. It was a snake that I had made a while ago, and it had been sitting on the table. It was a very good draw to the table because everybody saw it was a big snake. It was like, I want to say like 4 feet long. It was a big snake. And it was like like confetti colored. And that was a very good draw to the table because people would walk up and see the snake and like, oh my goodness, a snake. But then no one wanted to buy it because it was $40 because it took forever for me to make it. But then I had for weeks people walking up, ooh, snake, how much? $40. Oh, okay. And they put it down. How much is the squid? And so I had that over and over. And then a lady walked up to the table and she's like, I'm going to buy this snake. And I'm like, okay, it's $40. She's like, and she looked at her husband and she's like, okay, it's $40. Like flat out. She was like, got it. It's mine. And I was like, somebody took the snake. So snake sold, bunny sold, squid sold.
So you should make at least one more of those just to have on the table.
Yeah, that's what Pierce was saying, but it takes so long to make. I hated it. It's mostly just because it's so fiddly because the circumference of it was about this big. And so it's just going around a tiny, it's like, imagine going around a baby sock, but for like hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to make another snake. It's just, it was so fiddly, but I will probably make another one. But the things that didn't sell and have not sold off of my table, and I'm going to take them off of my table and put them up on Etsy, and maybe somebody will buy them on Etsy, and then I can ship it off to somewhere. The balloon dogs. Those balloon dogs that I spent so long making, and they look so cute sitting up on the table. Everybody looks at them. Nobody buys them. And not even like the way the snake happened. Because the snake is $40. The balloon dogs are $30. And I have 3 of them. And part of the issue is kids will walk up to the table. And because it is a very like it is a very kid friendly kind of table. Like I've got my little find your familiar thing, and like a lot of adults will buy stuff off of the table, but usually the kids walk up and like will be grabbing things, and so the kids will walk up, pick up the balloon dogs, and like, oh my goodness, and then sit it back down, and so it's sat down all like twisted and crooked, and they don't know how to sit it back up. And so I have to, and so if I'm not paying attention, the balloon dogs will be all like mangled all over the table, looking all crazy, or I have to get up 30 times and rearrange them. So I am, and even when they are sitting up, people are just not, that's not the vibe. So I'm going to take them back down, take some good pictures of them.
I suspect people are kind of, I mean, maybe I'm just projecting, but the kind of things that I see, like the little squid things, you know, and the little ghosties, those are the kind of things that I see repeatedly on YouTube and TikTok.
Leggy froggies gone.
The leggy frogs. See those repeatedly. So I mean, and these are women that are all over the country. It's not like they're just in our part of the country. These are women in all different states, and you see videos, and it's always, oh yeah, the leggy frogs are gone, the little octopuses are gone, the little ghosties are gone. So those are just seem to be real popular online. So I think when people come to your table and see, oh yeah, I've seen those online, and you can't get them at Walmart or Target.
Yeah, I've had a couple people say like, oh, I've seen this online, but a lot of people like, I don't know, they don't react as if they've seen it online, or maybe they just are not saying it that they've seen it online, because a lot of people seem like they're like, oh my goodness, I've never like, and that, they don't seem like I've never seen this, but like they seem very,
they act like it's something new.
Yeah. So and Booty Frog sold. I love Booty Frog so much. Booty Frog sold.
Well, yeah, I had the Booty Frog.
I need to. It just takes up. Booty Frog. I might have to sell Booty Frog for more, because Booty Frog takes up like half a skein of the green yarn that I bought, and so it would be Booty Frog and then like 2 leggy frogs, and then all of my green yarn is gone. I think what I'm realizing as I'm saying this aloud is I need to buy more green yarn.
Yes.
But I like to make things in different colors, but the leggy frog I feel like looks cute in a different color. I feel like the Booty Frog, if I make him in a different color, he is not recognizable as a frog.
As a frog. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, so that is how that market went. I'm taking the balloon dogs down. I need to make some more, but I need to make more because if I take the balloon dogs down, I think I have I have the ghost, because the ghost didn't sell. And then I have maybe 1 baby squid left or something. There's one or two other things.
So this is Friday. Do you have anything for markets tomorrow?
I'm going to put the balloon dogs up tomorrow just so I can have something on the table. And then I made some chickens. Yay, chickens. So cute.
Yeah. So cute.
I saw this yarn and I was like, this is a very good chicken colored yarn.
Yes, that is a good chicken color.
So
that is a good chicken color.
I mean, 2 chickens. And these don't take super long.
This is us easing into our yarny thoughts. So anything else you've got to show?
Yes, I also made, can I get it? Can I balance? Oh, it's so far away.
So you've got chickens for tomorrow's market.
Yes, and I made one other thing. I forgot how long these take to make. I made another witch hat. I made a green witch hat.
Cool.
Yeah, because it is
the season of the witch.
Must be the season of the witch.
Okay, we don't need to sing. Let's not, because we would scare away the few viewers that we have. Let's not do that. But
rude.
Ronald loves the chickens.
They're so cute. They are so cute. They are literally made as like a little bowl, and then you close the top. And they're just
cute
little round guys. I was worried that the eyes would be too big, because the eyes that I had, because I got some eyes from our old neighbor whose like wife passed away, and she used to make things, and so she had some safety eyes, and so I like the size for the things that I've been making, and so I only have this like big size of safety eyes. And so I'm worried every time I start a new amigurumi project, like, are my eyes going to be too big for this? But they seem to, I think they give like a big, like, cute vibe to everything.
I like them. I like them. I
Okay.
like them. So what else you got?
That's it. I got 2 chickens and a hat because that hat took 3 freaking hours. And yesterday, I was not, well, the day before yesterday, I was moving all my stuff. My plan was on Wednesday to move all of my stuff. So move the table that you guys are sitting on, file cabinet, all that stuff. And then do some crocheting and then go get the roommate and Wayne and then lay down or whatever. But after moving everything, I was just not feeling good. I even I made a video because I was like, oh, I'm gonna video and show everything that I made today. But I moved everything and then was collapsed on the floor. I forgot to eat that morning and I did not drink enough water and I was just not feeling good. So I didn't do anything that day. And then yesterday I had to work. And even before I went to work, I was like, okay, well, a few hours before I go to work, I'll maybe get some squids made, some chickens or something. And I got a migraine. And so I couldn't do anything.
No.
Yes, I was so irritated because I was like, I need to get some stuff made before Saturday. And so I was just not feeling it because I got some supplies with the big sale yesterday. I portioned out this is the money that's going to rent and everything. And then some of this money I'm using to buy supplies to make more things. And so I got supplies to make some polymer clay earrings to sell some more jewelry because the way that I'm planning on making them, they will be pretty easy to make. It's not that it will be time consuming, but I'll be able to make a lot at once, if that makes sense. And so I'll be able to have some inventory of earrings and stuff out. I even have I wonder if I can turn the camera around.
I have 100 earring things, and I told you I tried to make earrings at one time, and it was just no.
Well, I'm not crocheting. Goodness, why did you switch to my camera?
I'm trying to figure out what is going on. It looks like you put Vaseline on your camera.
Exactly. What is this? Why are you not using my good camera?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ronald. Well, work hard on your project. Fighting! Work hard on your project and have a good weekend.
Aww. Bye, Ronald.
Bye, Ronald.
But I got, oh my goodness, it's so weird having the camera right here. Okay, so I keep wanting to look at you in the TV back there, but the camera is right here. So I got stuff. We're gonna tilt around and hope the camera doesn't go out. There's my, look at this. I got a pasta machine for flattening out polymer clay.
Oh, how about for making pasta?
I'm gonna let you think about what you just said. And then so this is the box that is sitting under my desk. There's my project bag over there. This is the box that's sitting under my desk. But I got all this stuff. So this is a bag full of polymer clay. I've got Sculpey. And then I've got these molds. Oh, can you quite tell? There we go.
What happened to you sticking to one craft? And
that was a you idea. All of the cute gays and mays on TikTok are if you feel it pressed upon your heart to do different crafts, that is just your spirit trying to be free and you need to do it.
All right.
Look at how cute these are going to be. I've got little swords and I'm going to make those and then put some rings through them. And they're going to be little dangly sword earrings. So cute.
I'm sure they will be cute.
And I got a ton of actual earring cards. So I'm no longer using my carnival cards. I've got actual earring cards. And I've got a little stamp. So
okay, are you keeping track of what you've spent so that you can see what an actual profit is? Okay, look at that face.
I'm sort of keeping track. I know where all of my receipts are. They're just not gathered together in one place.
Yeah, you need to make a spread. I hate to say this because I think Excel is the devil, but you need to make a spreadsheet.
But I'm a child of God. I don't want to use Excel.
I don't want to use Excel either. I use it every week.
I don't want to use Excel. Okay, let's see if we can put you back. Oh no, the camera's probably gonna cut off again. Oh no, it didn't. Sweet. But yeah, I've got polymer clay, and these are the ones that I'm super excited about.
But seriously, if this is going to be a going concern, you need to at least do a simple sheet of this is what I've been spending on supplies, and this is what I'm taking in, even if you're not counting your actual labor, if you at least count your supplies and how much you take in from sales, that is so cute.
It's a little cutter to make.
Then you can have at least a general idea of whether you're wasting your time or not.
Yeah, I guess. I think I'm gonna put these two together and make like a little moth
Cute.
guy.
Oh, I thought it was a fairy, but go ahead.
I want some fairy ones, but I've not seen a fairy one that I like. So I am
I mean, I
not.
thought putting those two together, you were making like a fairy body, but okay.
Not quite. That would take a bit more shaping that I want to do, but I'm probably not going to do right away. And then the last thing I wanted to show of the supplies that I got was I got these silk screens. So these are cute because because the pasta machine came with a ton of stuff. The pasta machine was like $40, but it came with the pasta machine. It came with a bunch of different cutters that are like just basic shapes like circles, ovals, blah, blah, blah. And it came with the drill so I can drill the holes to do the holes for the jump ring. But I also got some silk screens. Let me see is there something I can hold it behind these? I don't have anything in my immediate space. You can kind of see. I've got silk screens.
Oh, silk screens, that's what it's supposed to be?
Yeah. And they've got cute little shapes on them. And so these, I flatten out the clay, put the silk screen down. I take some acrylic paint and squeegee across and then lift up the silk screen. And then the design will be on the clay. And then I can just cut like say I do this one with the little butterfly moths or whatever. And then I cut and then I'll just have like a little circle around a moth or something. It's a cute little shape. And then the bottom one is just like moons and plants. And then these ones. Just some cute little eyes. And then this one is, you can't even see that one. This one's got like moths and there we go. It's
Yeah,
focusing.
I can see the moths.
And like potion bottles and stuff. So I am super excited to use these silk screens. Because I'll be able to make some super quick, super easy earrings, which means I can price them pretty low. Like the ones that I have to use the cutters for, I'll probably have to price those at like $15, $20. But the ones that I use the silk screens for, I could probably price those at like $10, which for earrings is not much.
Cool. Well, I've got earring findings that I bought a while ago, and I already told the story of how I, got that teeny tiny hook out, and I ended up doing like one little chain, and I was like, oh no, I can't.
It's the worst. I don't understand.
I can't work with yarn this small.
The girlies who do micro crochet are blessed by the Lord. I have no idea.
And I couldn't, but I still have those earring findings, and I'm like, I have got to find a use for these. And so every time I look online, I'm like, and I see somebody has made earrings, I gotta say, please let this at least be DK weight yarn, because I can't do anything small, or at least fingering. This yarn I was using, I think, was even thinner than fingering, because I've used fingering
like lace weight.
Yeah, because I've made socks before. But this yarn that I was using was like so thin. I'm gonna turn around and see if I actually have some of it sitting behind me. I might still have it sitting behind me. If not,
I know. Next time I come home, I'll come home and visit, and I'll bring some polymer clay supplies, and you get some wine, and we'll just have a little. It'll be like a sip and paint, but it'll be like a little sip and crochet or a little sip and craft. Are you okay? I'm assuming that is my brother.
Yes, that's your brother, who I thought was sleeping.
Did he walk in like a ghost?
Yes, he did. He walked in like a ghost, scaring me.
How did you not hear him? He shuffles his feet.
I did not hear him.
He slides his ashy heels across the floor everywhere he goes.
I did not hear him, but yeah, I don't have that yarn next to me, but it was hella thin, and I couldn't. So I haven't finished much this week. So have I showed you this pattern, by the way?
Let's see.
I think I showed it. I think I showed it on a previous video.
I think maybe you showed it once. Why am I on the greasy camera again? Oh my goodness.
I made this vest for your father in black, white, and gray, all black, white, and
Oh,
gray.
I feel like I remember
And
seeing the actual vest. I don't think I saw the pattern. I saw the
and that
vest.
vest ended up going to Goodwill because he wore it like maybe once. And I learned since then I do not make anything for him. But
I
him and your sister,
yeah.
I don't make anything for either one of them.
Is
But
that a knit pattern or is that a crochet pattern?
this is a knit side to side pattern. I knit this vest while walking around at Charlotte Renfest. That's how I
Really?
learned. That's how I learned how to knit without watching while I was doing. Was knitting this
Wow.
vest, and I had the bag of yarn over my arm.
Uh
Little
huh.
yarn ball hanging over my arm, and I was just looking at things and just knitting like this.
Just
That's how I
walk
learned
around
that.
knitting.
That's how I learned how to do it. And this is a pattern that I bought from a local yarn store, and you can tell because it is hand
Handwritten.
written and
What?
mimeographed on the mimeograph machine. You know the
I don't. What's a mimeograph?
you don't know what a mimeograph machine is?
Not in the year of our Lord 2023.
Okay, so back in the day, you would type or write your little pattern thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was a machine that had like a barrel to it, and you would lay this over,
Mm-hmm.
and then there'd be sheets of paper under, and I can't remember exactly how it worked, but you would like roll the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
and somehow the thing got printed on the blank paper, and that was how
Mm-hmm.
you made the copies.
Okay, that sounds like a
Ink
what am I
barrel
thinking?
will go around, and then
I've been seeing a lot
I'm
of stuff
I'm just
about
I'm describing it poorly, but
you're good. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about gel plates lately, and that's what it makes me think of because a jelly plate you can like you make this like thing of jelly, like you literally like you can use just gelatin, and you make it, and then you roll a thin layer of ink across it, and then you take a piece of paper that has something printed on it, and you stick it onto the thing, and then when you pull it up, the ink will stick to the paper, but not to what's printed on there, and so there will still be
uh
ink left on the thing, and then you sit another piece of paper down and it prints it. That's what it makes me think of. Um, but what was the thing? Oh, I've fully lost track. Oh, that sweater. That is a very that sweater would be good for hobbity outfits, which is why I was asking you if it was knit or crochet. Because if I could make something like that, I feel like that would sell well at the at Stay Nectar. This a hobbit vest.
a hobbit vest.
Okay.
But yeah, when I was in school, like in junior high school, that was how they made copies of like stuff for us, like worksheets for us to.
Back in the 1700s? That is when this looks like this is from.
But yeah, that one on the bottom
Uh
gives a
huh.
better because you see how the thing that you wanted to print is on the top, and then the printouts are on the bottom.
I'm about to go down a rabbit hole looking up this and maybe I can find a how it's made video or something.
But okay,
Tracy.
so I am working on
Mm-hmm.
um I'm still working on
Oh yeah, the
my
Tunisian crochet along.
I'm still working on my Tunisian crochet thing. And this is I'm on square number 5, which is the reverse
Nice.
stitch. Okay. And I somewhere I can't find it in the pattern again, but I feel like I read somewhere on this pattern that this stitch is not supposed to curl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the other ones that I've done, did I show them last week?
Um, maybe show one or two of
Because
them. Go ahead and make your camera big.
let's see. This is okay. Well, I can't figure out how to. Okay, there it is. I was trying to figure out there's a way to like take that out without totally erasing it so then I can just click it and share the screen again.
And pop it back up again. Yeah.
And for some reason I was forgetting which yeah, which button it was. But so yeah, this is square number 1. I showed that. This is
Mm-hmm.
simple stitch. Tunisian simple stitch. And like I said, I've done a whole blanket in that cuz I thought that was the only stitch there was. And
Mm-hmm.
then this is Tunisian full stitch.
Okay. What do the
And
backs of these look like? Do they look
then
the same? Does the back look the
no,
same as
they
the
look
front?
different. See?
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And like this one, this is this is the front and then this is the back.
Okay. I was just
So
curious. I
not
didn't know if
exactly the
Tunisian
same.
has like right and wrong sides.
And then it does, yeah, because this is the Tunisian knit stitch,
Do
which
you
that looks like
think
straight up knitting.
it does? Do you think I would be able to duplicate stitch over the Tunisian knit stitch?
Yes, you would.
Good to know. Good to know.
And yep, you'd be able to duplicate stitch over that because the stitches look. This looks this looks front and back looks just like knitting because this looks like a purl side right here. This looks just like knitting, except when you feel it, it's a bit more squishy.
Okay.
So
How hard
it's a
is the
very
knit stitch?
it's a it's a very comfortable. It's not hard at all.
Okay.
It's not hard at all. It's like I'd have to look it up again to tell you exactly how to do it, but it's not difficult. And then this is number 4. Oh no, this was the one that I was supposed to be full stitch. This is full stitch right here.
Okay. I like it. It
So
looks very
I got
baskety.
yeah, I like full stitch. I like the way full stitch looks. So I've got 4. So I got number 5. So all you notice all of those kind of curled up because they have kind of a purl side to them, and so they all
Mm-hmm.
curl up. So this one is not supposed to curl up, but I'm doing it and I'm like, this is curling up. I'm like, maybe I read it wrong because this is still curling up. And then
Mm-hmm.
today I said, let me look at this video again and see. And I looked at her video again and I was like, well, I still feel like I'm doing it the way she was doing it. And then I said, let me go over to Crochet Crowd, which Crochet Crowd is not uh um Crochet Crowd is a YouTube channel and a they have like a partnership with Lion Brand and Yarn Inspirations and all this other stuff. The main guy who does it, I forget what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
But his personality to me is ever so slightly off-putting. To be fair, I think everybody's personality on the
You
online
don't
is
like
ever so
people.
slightly off-putting. Yeah, it's like I'll be attracted to somebody's channel, and but then if I watch too much of them, some of their personality ticks, their personality quirks start to annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't watch too much of them, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so I figured that out about myself, and so I try to vary who I watch. I watch somebody for a while and then stop somebody else for a while, and that's just not just in crochet, but in just
Yeah.
YouTube videos in general. There's very few people that I can continually watch and they don't annoy me after a while. But anyway, so hopped on over to Crochet Crowd because the one thing about him is that he he can describe how to do a stitch without all the extra fluffity fluff around it. And I
Mm-hmm.
seem to understand it better when he does it. So I jumped over and it seemed like I was holding the yarn incorrectly. I was going into the stitch the
Oh.
same way that the pattern, because I was following the video that the pattern writer, the person who made the sampler blanket, was showing.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I was doing it. I was like putting my everything on Tunisian. I don't know if I can show you because but everything on Tunisian is just about where you put your hook. And I was putting the hook in
Mm-hmm.
the right place. But then I was like wrapping the yarn around and pulling it through, and that's not right. You gotta make sure that the string is in front of your hook before you put your yarn into the spots, then you can just pull it through. And so once I
It's
started doing, and I thought that's not really, I thought that's not really much of a difference. But then
mhm.
when you look, I'm gonna pull this out so I can show you. When
Yeah,
you
it sounds like the
look, I don't know if you'll be able
difference.
to see it because I'm. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say it sounds like the difference between like I've seen some people on when talking about like oh and how to crochet faster and stuff. The difference between like yarning over and yarning under, which I did
And
not
yarning
realize was
under.
a
Uh-huh.
difference. Yeah, I
I
did not
watched
realize was a
one of those
difference,
videos too about crocheting faster.
but it
I
does
see.
look it looks a little
I
bit
don't pay
different. But
attention to how I'm wrapping.
I started to because I was like, well, I if I'm going to be making a lot of things, maybe this will help out and stuff. And so I started practicing with the yarning. I want to say it was yarning over, and it's like
Uh,
it's very minute. I guess over a span of time, it does
uh,
save a good bit of time, but it's very minute. But
uh,
it's the difference between me moving this hand and wrapping the yarn, like moving my left hand and wrapping the yarn around to catch the hook with the hook facing me, and me just scooping the yarn with the
mm.
hook and pulling through as like one fluid motion as opposed to this and then this. If that makes sense.
Okay, you're starting to break up on me, so I think I'm gonna have to close some stuff.
Yeah, I think your laptop is chugging because
Okay.
you're going glitch mode.
Yeah. Sorry, I closed some stuff. Okay. But yeah, I watched that video. It might be the same video that we watched
Possibly.
about okay, Messenger has decided that it is just not gonna close. Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
But I finally got it closed. So hopefully I'll stop chugging. But yeah, I watched that video and at first I thought, oh, that's not gonna make a difference. But then when I really paid attention to it, because your father made a comment about how fast you crochet compared to how I crochet. Remember when we were on the cruise
Yeah, which
and
I
everybody
did
was
not. I
watching
didn't think that
you,
I was
and he
crocheting
was
that fast.
like,
I thought I was crocheting slow.
he made a joke about how I crochet, and at first I was a little bit hurt, but then I was like, well, I think the difference is that I wrap with my left
Mm-hmm.
hand. So I yarn over instead of yarn under because I get pain in my right hand.
Yeah.
And so have adapted to where I use my left hand more in all ways because when I knit, I used to knit the English way, which is you put your knitting in, you take the yarn, you wrap it around, then you bring the stitch through and off. So you're doing it all with your right hand and your left hand is just here holding the needle. That's the whole purpose.
Standing there. Yeah.
And I was getting pain. So I had to teach myself to do continental, which is the string is in your left
Left hand.
hand,
Like when
and
you're
then
crocheting.
the string is in your yeah, the string is in your left hand like when you're crocheting, and then you can take the needle and just grab at, or when you purl, you can take your left hand and actually wrap the yarn around so that you're
Mm-hmm.
involving this hand some so that it's not all on this hand.
Yeah,
And
I
but for me to
have.
be able to do that, I have to think when I do my stitches, which means
Yeah.
I do my stitch, I wrap around and then do my thing and then I go. And then it's only a few seconds, but my brain has to think for a second
Mm-hmm.
before I find the next stitch. Whereas you are doing it more with your right hand, so you can just do it and keep going. My
Yeah,
brain has to stop and think for a split second.
I have noticed though that since I switched to, and it may not even have anything to do with this, and it may just be that I have increased the amount of production that I'm doing to try to get things sold and get things out on the table or whatever. But I have noticed that my wrist will hurt a little bit. And I have my compression gloves, so I'll wear my compression
Mhm.
gloves, and that helps a little bit. My wrist will hurt a little bit, but it will my arm will hurt because I think I'm just doing a full motion with my
Yes.
arm, and so my
Uh-huh.
arm will hurt.
Uh-huh.
Whereas before I was doing the
Yeah, and when
wrapping with my other hand.
Mhm. Yeah, when I say my hand hurts, just take it to know that that's from here all the way up to here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling it right now on my shoulder as like my said, "Oh, you talking to me?" Because I can feel it back here now. But the pain goes all the way up to here.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when once it's like a slow moving train. It travels. If it's like around here, I'm good. When it starts getting up to my elbow, I'm in trouble. If it gets up here, I've got to stop doing any kind of knit or crochet for at least a week.
Yeah.
So before it travels all the way up here, I try to switch things up so that I don't have as much pain. I try to stop, I
Mm-hmm.
try to rest, don't do any more that day, whatever. But what I was saying about this is so I figured out that so I switched to doing it the way he was doing it, and now it's starting to look like the pattern, like the picture, because she shows pictures of what the front and back is supposed to look like. And my front, I didn't notice those front and back pictures before, but I looked at them today, excuse me, and I was like, oh yeah, mine is definitely not looking like hers. So let me see how I'm doing the stitch. And I don't know if this is going to show up on camera, but this is the front, and from here
I can see it's like 5 rows
down
down.
is this is where I was doing it wrong. All of this bottom
Uh-huh.
part is where I was doing it wrong. And this top part is where I'm doing it right. But I'm not
Yeah.
taking it out because this is the scrap blanket and I'm just using scrap. But and it's actually going faster now that I'm doing it right because I was doing an extra wrap for no good reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the back. And see, I again, I don't know if you can tell, but
I can tell.
what I was doing was making the back look like simple stitch. So basically, I was just doing Tunisian simple stitch in reverse
Oh.
because the way you do because the way you do Tunisian simple stitch is that you go into the front bar, and the way you do reverse stitches you go into the back bar. And so I
Mm-hmm.
was going into the back bar, but I was doing a wrap like I would do if I was
You
going
didn't
through the
switch
front
the
bar, and
wrap
you're
the
not
other
supposed to
way.
do that. And
Yeah.
so I didn't switch the wrap the other way, and so now the back, this whole bottom part looks like simple stitch on the back,
Mm-hmm.
but then this top part, and it's already curling less at the
Mm-hmm.
top because of switching. So
Yeah.
because I the whole time I was doing this, because I started losing interest. I just picked this back up today. I put it down for a couple days because I was losing interest because I was like, well, if I add this stitch to my repertoire, if it's the same simple stitch, I can just do simple stitch and turn it around.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not simple stitch. It's actually it looks totally different on the
Yeah.
front and back if you do it right. So now I'm interested again.
Switched
But
it.
now that I've switched it. So I'm only like
And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so these you can you use a regular Tunisian hook for these, or do you need your fancy little cradle thing you got?
You quit making fun of my hook.
I can't remember what it's called.
It's crochet knit. And I'm only
That's why
using
I
the
don't
crochet
remember. It's bad.
I'm only using the crochet knit because um the one wait a minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's what I thought that was 16. The one Tunisian hook that I could lay my hands on is actually in a project. It's got like a
Oh.
whole row of stitches on the
Uh
cable,
huh.
so I don't want to take it out because I'm not ready
Yeah.
to revisit that project again right now.
Yeah.
It's in the project for Sydney, the
Avatar blanket.
Avatar: The Last Airbender blanket. And part of me was like, "Oh, well, that was so long ago. I should pull all this out and just start over." And I'm like, "No. I will not do that. I will just pick up right where I was
Yeah, I
after
I
I
would
get
not
done
start a
getting.
blanket over. Never.
So I will not because I mean there's four squares in that blanket, but there are four giant squares. Have I
Yeah.
showed that blanket on the stream
I
before?
think you've pulled up the picture.
But there's four giant squares. I'll pull it up another time when I'm actually working on it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
do that
don't
while
pull
I'm
up too much
but
because your laptop just stopped
but
chugging.
but it's four giant squares to make a
Mhm.
giant blanket. And I have restarted that square like four different times because I keep getting bored before I even get to the halfway point of that square. And this time
Uh-huh.
the last time I tried it was doing Tunisian and I got about a third of the way up the square before I stopped. So
Mhm.
that's I think that's the farthest I've gotten. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not pulling this out. I'm
Don't
gonna
start
start it
over.
again. I'm gonna start it again. But so this is the end of Scraptober, Scraptember.
I didn't realize scrap timber was a
Um,
thing until you said something.
Scraptember is not a thing. I'm making it up.
Oh.
Scraptember. Um, what was the other thing I heard somebody say? Slash your stash September or stash down September or anyway, all of these are just to say September is when you should be trying to get rid of some of your stash.
Hmm.
And I didn't come across this thought until halfway through September, so I didn't get a good start on it.
Yeah.
But that's what this blanket was supposed to be about. But like I said, I got bored with that square partway through. So I picked up another project.
We need to start doing this stream on Wednesdays so it can be a whip Wednesday because you are forever making whips.
So I picked up another project. This is how far along I am. This is just on the
What is
should
this?
I pull up a picture because it's knitting and I just was tired of doing the Tunisian for a minute
Uh
and
huh.
so this is knitting. And should I bring up a picture of what this is supposed to be? I mean, I could show you the pattern, but
Is this a
it
1 hour baby sweater?
no, it's not a 1 hour baby sweater. Trust me,
What is
not a
it?
1 hour baby sweater. Um,
I have no guesses. What is this?
okay. And Ravelry is trying to tempt me because September is almost over and they're already showing the October craft along
Craft on.
roundup
Yep.
with all the different with all the different knit alongs and crochet alongs that you could join.
Nah, I
I
mean,
don't
I've never done a knit along or crochet along.
well, technically I've never done one either. I've started several and but
Weave along.
I'm definitely
Taking
gonna
out
take
our loom.
yep, I'm gonna take a look at this later. Not that I need to jump into anything else, but I'm gonna see if there's any sock ones because October is here and I've already determined that for me,
Hmm.
this is gonna be Socktober because I had that sock that I started. Remember, right when we get back from
Uh huh.
vacation.
I need to make at least one pair of socks so I can say that I've made a pair of socks and then be done. Because I've never made a pair of socks and I want to just
Uh,
get it out of my system.
I'm just in the mood to make socks right now, but I'm not in the mood to deal with double pointed needles. So I might just do a bunch of um, socks knit flat. And
That sounds
I
fun.
named my project for this scrap blanket, the Stitch Through the Sickness Tunisian sampler blanket,
Ooh,
because I was
this,
sick when I started it.
that's like Isaac making that playlist on Spotify that was like a
Uh,
plague befell the town.
but I'm making a baby dress called the Seamless Grace
Okay.
because I just remembered that I have not sent off the
Cute.
yeah, I just remembered that I have not sent off the um words.
Whose baby is it for?
Nawan's second baby.
Yeah.
Your cousin's second baby. Remember I made the 5 hour the 10 hour the
Yeah,
baby
the baby
sweater,
sweater.
the 5 hour baby sweater, and I made the matching headband. I mean,
Yeah.
bandana for the mommy,
Yeah.
and for some reason, and then we went on vacation.
And you never sent it off.
And I forgot. Well, I remember asking your father for the address, and he never gave me the address to type up the label to put on the box.
Mm-hmm.
And so I found those projects. I put them in a box. There's still room in the box. I asked him again for the address. He said, "Well, I thought he sent it to me, and then he never gave me the
Mm.
address."
Do you not have Naywan's
Because
information or his wife's information? Can you just like contact them directly?
I do not have their information. I
Oh.
think I follow Nawan on Facebook, but I don't do
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, and I'm not going to contact somebody on Facebook because that's
Yeah.
just rude. Um, so I I don't know that first one that I showed you. I don't know what the difference is between the way they stitched it and the way the creator stitched
Yeah.
hers, because you see how the skirt
Looks different.
has a better drape to it.
Yeah, it doesn't
So
look like.
I hope mine has a nice drape to it and not that stiff look.
I mean, it could just be the yarn.
Yeah, it could just be the yarn, but the yarn on this one just looks stiff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she used fingering weight. What on earth?
Who
I bet she used fingering weight
held
and
it double
held it double. Ugh.
or a triple?
Ugh. That's yuck.
I saw a video of somebody holding yarn triple, and I was like, at this point, just get a
Just
different yarn.
buy some chunky.
Just
Exactly.
get a different yarn.
Exactly. But so that's what I started because I'm still trying to get rid of scraps. And so I had a ball of where whoever gave me this yarn had put a string of pink and a string of brown together so that they could be held together and then rolled them together in a ball. So I spent an evening unrolling that ball so
Yeah,
that the pink
what?
could be on one side and so the pink could be in one ball and the brown could be in another ball because there's no way I'm holding yarn together because I hate you holding yarn together.
Somebody
So
was committed to using that pink and brown.
so this is, and I like pink and brown in certain situations, but I didn't like that shade of pink with this shade of brown. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is a very dark brown. The
Yep.
reason, and I'm using it, this starts yoke down,
Uh huh.
from the yoke of the dress down, and it's seamless. So it's all, I don't have to sew anything up. It's
Nice.
all done in the round. So this it's got
Love
this
a no sew.
picot. Let me see if I can show it to you. It's got this picot hem, so that slowed me down at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning. But once that was done, the knitting's going faster. What also slowed me down was that I was using what?
I was like, how do you do picot while knitting? I know how to do picot with crochet, but how do you do picot while knitting?
Basically, what you do is you knit 4 stitches,
Yeah.
then you bind off 2 stitches, and then take the stitch from your right needle and put it back on your left needle.
Hate it.
Then you cast on 4 more stitches,
Hate it.
bind off 2, put that back on the, so when you bind off the 2 and put it back on that left
It makes a
needle,
little.
that makes that bump.
Hate
Oh,
it.
yes, and I had to do that till I had 50 stitches on the needle. That slowed me down a lot. That took me 2 evenings to take care of that. But one, because when I say 2 evenings, people are like, "Why does it take you so long?" Or I imagine this is what people are saying. These are the imaginary people in my brain. Nobody's actually said that to me out loud. But the reason it just sounds like wrong to me when I say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, I only knit in the evenings. Okay, my day is very segmented. I wake up in the
Mm-hmm.
morning, and that's when I do my reading. And if I play any like video games on my iPad or whatever, and for the past week or so, I've been watching a little bit of YouTube. So I do all that till I'm ready to get up and get ready for work. Then I do work for several hours. Okay. And then I
Mm-hmm.
try to stop by 7 p.m. Okay, because your father some days comes home at 7 p.m. So I try to make 7 p.m. And even if he's not coming home, 7 p.m. is kind of where my brain goes. We're not sleepy yet, but we are tired of work. And
Hmm.
so I kind of make 7 p.m. my cutoff. And then at 7 p.m., I kind of go get some food, get into my pajamas or whatever. And then by the time your father comes home is when I usually pick up whatever project I'm going to work on. And so then I have like maybe 2 hours a
Yeah,
night that I get it, that I do any kind of stitching. So so when I say it takes me 2 evenings, that I
yeah.
that I only spend maybe an hour or two every evening to do something.
Ronald's
Oh,
back.
you finished that project? Well, good for you, Ronald.
We're still talking about yarn, Ronald.
We're still talking about yarn. So this is taking me 2 evenings, and I still have one more inch before I get this. But I
Hmm.
added this brown yarn because I wanted to do the dress. It's supposed to take um it's supposed to take 220 yards because this is a 3 to 6 month size. So it's
Hmm.
supposed to take. So I figured the baby's going to be almost 6 months by December of this year. So
Hmm.
this dress should fit. And I wanted to throw this into the box because I think the baby sweater may be too small by the time this box gets sent off. But I'm going to send it anyway because I haven't seen the baby, don't know how big the baby is.
Yeah.
So, and I don't, since this is unlabeled yarn, I don't know how many yards this is, but I have this ball that I was
Hmm.
going to put in the scrap blanket. And I thought, no, I like this yarn too much to put in the scrap blanket.
Yeah, and that
I
would look
just
good as like the skirt part, or
Yeah,
yeah,
I like it's like dark brown. It's the same dark brown as this.
yeah,
It's dark brown plus light brown
uh huh,
plus a sky blue.
yeah. Okay, I
And
am reading this post
I
correctly.
just like the way the variegation looks in this yarn.
Hmm.
So I'm knitting this as far down as I can go, although this is all I got left. So I think I'm going to hit this before I get to the skirt, but
Yeah, I mean, you could do maybe a band of maybe not black, but like a. Let me see.
see, I feel like I'm gonna be see how that top where it's just the purple and the red and the purple. I
Yeah,
feel like that is all I'm gonna have done before I go into the
into the other
variation.
color.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to think.
and if that's all I have done, then that's fine. That's a defined
Well,
neckline, and then we'll have the variegated. So that's fine.
well, if you
But
can find a matching blue that's like the sky blue, if you can find a matching blue, then you can do
because I
that
looked
section in
through, and
solid blue. Oh, have we lost you? Your computer finally gave up. It was chugging. Oh, there you are.
I don't. Yeah, I don't have any more of this blue. I think that's why I've held on to this ball of yarn for so long. I don't have, and this ball of yarn was given to me. I have not made a project with that yarn. I wouldn't even know where to buy that yarn.
Hmm.
So I don't think I have, and I looked through because I got this big box of yarn from your Nana.
Yeah.
And so all the yarn that I got from your Nana is separated out. And I think this yarn came from that box. So I looked through to see if there was something else that she had used to coordinate with that, but I cannot find anything.
Mm.
And I don't have anything in because those are not colors that I would normally buy.
Really?
If I mean, I like the color, but generally when I've made something for somebody, they've asked me for a specific color. And
Yeah.
so I ended up with a lot of red and a lot of purple and a lot of black and a
Why are
lot of
people asking
white
for red?
and a lot of white. Well, red used to be your sister's favorite color before she went all semi goth.
That's true, and I hated it. Red is just not. I don't like red as a
I like
color.
red, and I have a lot of orange because I went through that
Ooh, I love
phase
orange.
of making pumpkin hats and stuff for y'all.
I should make some pumpkin
Christmas. Yes,
hats.
you should make pumpkin hats. They're very easy.
I have some orange, but I've got like Burnett orange for making. I'm making some jack o' lantern amigurumis.
So I've got a lot of orange. So those are the kind of colors that I have. And whenever I have a bright color that comes my way, like a purple, it disappears because
Mm-hmm.
usually when
Somebody wants
I
it.
get a color like that, we were not goth looking in the family photo.
We
What
were
are you
not
talking
smiling.
about?
We were not
What are you
smiling.
talking
Everybody was like,
about?
cheese, we're on a cruise. This is wonderful. And you and I are like, we just
What are
finished
you even
crocheting
talking
our
about?
projects.
I'm trying to see if I can find that family photo now because you're making me want to look at it again.
We were not smiling. Both of us were like, it showed on our face that we just finished our projects. We were not smiling. I think we were smiling in other pictures, but in that picture in particular, we were just not smiling.
No, we weren't really smiling, but
Everybody was cheesing, and we were like, mm, happy to be
that's not
here.
true.
It
That's not.
is. You're gonna pull up the picture, and everyone will see.
That's not. That's just not true.
Even Chloe was smiling. All right, said my God.
That's not true. Where is the picture? Why am I having trouble finding the picture? But anyway, those are the only two things that I have
Mm-hmm.
that I've worked on. But I think I'm going to stop working. I don't know if I should stop working on those and switch to my sock because October is next week,
Mm-hmm.
or if I should. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a lot of yarn kind of sitting over here for plans. Look at us. Everybody's cheesing, and we're like,
See, now over there, Ronald, for your edification, because that's my husband to the far left, and then that's our semi goth right there, and next to him, and then me in the middle.
mm-hmm.
So that is our semi goth Chloe, who you may have seen show up in the comments every once in a while.
Chloe, I need
But
you to enhance this picture. Zoom in.
now you look like a semi goth, ma'am.
Except I don't.
Look at the lipstick though.
Okay, just because I'm wearing dark lipstick,
The lipstick.
I'm just made up. I like to be colorful. The
And
man on the
I have
right
lipstick
is my baby
on.
brother, Ronald.
I have
My
I have lipstick on too, but you can't even tell that I have lipstick on.
The man on the right is my tiny baby brother who cannot be older than 18. I refuse to believe it. He has not aged a day.
He is 25.
Ugh. It's like a shot in the heart, and you're to
Mhm.
blame.
Yeah, looking at this picture though, I realized I should stop making my wearing my handmade
He's not
head
allowed to be gray, Ronald.
my handmade head scarf things
Why?
because it looks sloppy in the picture.
I think it looks cute.
I think if I was wearing jeans or something, but it's not the look I was going for.
Mm,
It's not the look that I was going for.
mm-hmm.
I should have just worn a head wrap instead. So for next year's picture I need to remember wear a head wrap. I have a black head wrap, so I can do that. And what was my next? I should also wear darker lipstick, number two. And number three, I should just go ahead and
We gotta smile.
smile with my teeth, even though my teeth are crooked.
We
Okay.
gotta smile.
Because realistically, you guys all know that my teeth are crooked. So
And
at
who
least
else is seeing these pictures other than you, me, and Ronald, apparently?
but yeah, so semi goth there. Red used to be her favorite color, but now she's slightly rocker chick, slightly I don't know what you would call her, but she wears black a lot. And
Wayne says that Chloe is very
Black
punk rock.
and butt kicking boots and things that almost have spikes on them but not quite.
She wears some stuff with studs.
Yeah, almost studs.
She wears stuff with studs all the time. What do you mean? She doesn't
But
wear full
like
like
you,
spikes, but she wears
let me
like little
rephrase.
studs,
There's some people who wear stuff that looks like, oh, I can't even get close to you because it might hurt,
which would
and
be
hers
spikes,
and hers are more like, well, I'm a little bit rocker, but you can get close. I'm still cuddly.
which would be studs. There's the spikes, which are full points, and then there's the studs, which look like just a little nubbin. It's the implication of a spike.
I know the difference between spikes and studs. I'm just
Then
saying that even her studs don't look as studly as other people's studs. She just looks cuddly.
okay,
Okay, so is that all we're talking about? We talked about my scrap blanket.
that
My
might be all we're talking about today. We are coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah, my coloring pages. I don't see any coloring pages coming up for a while because my arm is still doing okay.
Mm.
So I usually don't switch to the coloring pages my until I get really bored with yarn or my arm is just bothering me.
I'm waiting to see who
Um,
we add in there next to Marilyn.
okay, so we can hit a bit of I know it's coming up.
Not Chloe coming to the chat.
Yes, you look cuddly because you're my child. That's probably what it is. Maybe nobody else thinks you're cuddly. Maybe it's just me.
Also, since Chloe's watching, I bet Bucket's watching. Bucket run. Bucket cause havoc. Bucket chew up
Don't
everything.
don't don't tell that to the dog. We have a minute or two. I know we've been doing 2 hours, but we have a minute or two to get into some media consumption, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. I just didn't want anybody to think that we're about to go for like 4 hours or something because I do not have that energy in me. I had 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I know. And I feel like I need to lay down myself or
Yeah.
finish my what's the word?
Coffee?
My board game arena turns.
Uh,
Oh, speaking of games,
Speaking of
and
games.
I know Ronald's going to make a comment because he was playing this game this past weekend. But there is I'm going to tell you now. I'm jumping between watch, listen, and play. I'm just jumping.
Okay.
I'm just snatching some stuff.
You're good. I can
Um,
go over all of my watch stuff pretty much in one
I'm
go
just
and kind of knock them
but
out.
there is we're always looking for games, though there's not a lot in this category of video games where like you have the game, I have the game, but we're seeing different parts of the screen and we have
Yes.
to tell each other stuff. I don't know what they call that genre. There's
But
not a
I,
short
yes, but I love
there's,
them.
there's not a short pithy name for that genre, but we are a big fan of that. There is We Were Here Expeditions, The Friendship. It is on PC. I don't know if it's on Xbox. I know they reviewed it on an Xbox website, but I don't know if that means it's on Xbox. But it is free until October 13th.
Ooh, I need to
And
try to
Ronald
get
has played it. So Ronald could, yes, I know you did it on the stream on Wednesday, Ronald. That's why I mentioned it. We have not played any of the We Were Here games. That's on our list. The problem is that usually I play those games with my son, the grown man you were talking about. But we just his laptop cannot handle um Steam. So
nope.
he really doesn't play any games on his laptop because it just can't handle really playing games. He uses it mainly for, necessities for work and stuff like that. But it can't handle anything more than that. So and I have another laptop over here, but this laptop that I'm pointing to over on this side is my work laptop. So I really don't put anything on it. Although my boss really wouldn't care. But just for me personally, to keep my life separate, I don't put anything. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is my leisure laptop, and this is my work laptop. That's what I do. So we haven't tried any of the We Were Here games, but I just wanted to mention this to Maya while we were face to face because it's free until the 13th. And
I didn't
Chloe,
check it.
if she's hanging out in the chat watching us, she could um
Yeah, I might.
I know her computer works, so she can at least get a free copy of it.
Yeah, I might see if I can get Steam to open long enough for me to say, "Hey, I want to own this game," and then because
Yeah.
it will not run.
Yeah, I'm really the only Chloe and I are really the only Steam players in our family group because we're the only ones who have computers that can handle it.
Every
So,
time I live right down the road from a pawn shop, and every time I drive past the pawn shop, I'm like, I could put a laptop on layaway
hmm
and try to get a laptop. How does
you know,
layaway work?
the majority of laptops that we have owned in this household have been used. So,
How explain to me a child how layaway works? You say, "Hey, can you hold this
you
thing for
go in,
me?"
this is the thing I want to buy. They ask you to put down a down payment,
Uh
and
huh.
then every week you're supposed to go in and pay a little bit more. And then once you've got it paid off, they give you your item.
Okay, sweet.
So yeah, you pay it over time. It's just it's different from credit in that with credit they give you the thing now and then you got to pay them over time.
With layaway, they hold on
Layaway
to
is
it.
they're keeping it till you pay it.
Okay, so if I like, if for some reason, like, I'm not planning on this to happen, but if for some reason I'm like, hey, can I put this thing on layaway? I pay my little down the deposit, and then I'm paying for a while, and then I like miss a week or something. I think be like, "Ooh, it's back on the shelf. Somebody else bought it."
They usually give you a warning before they put it back on the shelf. At
Okay,
least
if they
that's the way it used to work. It has been so many years since I've done anything on layaway. You need to look at the guidelines of the place
okay,
that you're doing layaway because not many places do layaway anymore.
the pawn shop right down the road from me has it up on their little board, like layaway
Which
available
pawn shop
something.
is it? Is it from a pawn shop chain or is it an individual?
It's an Allen's pawn shop.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like an individual one. We've always gotten our electronics from Cash America.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've always gone Cash America, and Cash America has been pretty good for us as far as not being predatory, as Ronald says,
What you mean by
and
predatory? What do I need to look out for?
and just kind of
Like, just
like taking your
overcharging?
money and not warning you before they put your thing back out and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
But Cash America, as far as electronics go, we have had good luck with them. Usually they're refurbs, because like a lot of cat pawn shops will just take your thing and just put it out. They don't
Hmm.
clean it up. They don't, they just take it and put it out. And Cash America, in our experience, at least the ones we've gone to around here, are good at like cleaning the hard drive off,
Hmm.
making sure it's in good enough shape to sell.
Okay, I
That
might check
that
if
it's
there's a Cash
actually
America around.
that's actually going to turn on and stuff. So we've had good luck with Cash America.
Yeah, because I think Allen's is a chain. But I think it's like a smaller chain. Because I know of two Allens here in Asheville, like two different ones here in Asheville. But
Okay.
I don't think I've seen any of them out anywhere else. But that's something we could look up later. What else do you want to talk about?
Okay, so We Were Here is on sale. Let me run through here. You were watching a bunch of old black comedies.
I can go over those real quick. I watched a bunch of old black comedies because I was just in a vibe for it. Soul Plane, hilarious. It is, I didn't know what that movie was about before I watched it. It was very funny. It was, I believe they call it like an irreverent comedy is what they
hmm
call this. It was very funny, super, super goofy. Was not, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that, but it was
Yes,
very funny.
Soul Plane got very bad reviews, and Soul Plane is still a punchline. I've never seen Soul Plane,
It's just
but
super goofy.
Soul Plane is still a punchline of oh my god, what like the few people who were cast in Soul Plane often make jokes about, "Oh my
Mhm.
god, why did I take that job?
Yeah, it was super
That
goofy.
was such a bad movie."
Think of every black stereotype you can think of, and they're like, okay, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna say that they're being on the plane. It had Oh, what is his
So what
name?
what were you watching this on? Was it on Tubi? Was it on? Because I
Soul Plane, I believe I watched on Hulu. I'm gonna have to look these up because I forgot to put my things in there. Watch Soul Plane. What was I watching that on? Soul Plane I was watching on HBO Max, and then I watched Beauty Shop, which I enjoyed Beauty Shop.
hmm
Yeah.
I've seen Barbershop and Beauty Shop.
Yeah, because I like Queen Latifah. I watched that on HBO Max too, so I think I was just watching a bunch of stuff on HBO Max. But Beauty Shop I really enjoyed, and so I think that was that. I started Soul Plane and I was like, okay, I want more comedies that are kind of in this vibe, and so then I watched Beauty Shop and I was like, okay, I really enjoy this because it's the comedy, but it's not so much of the goofy, obnoxious comedy. It's like the comedy, but also like there's a storyline there and there's like characters that I want to support or whatever. And so I was like, well, I want more of this, but there are no more of the Beauty Shop. And so I was like, well, let me watch Barbershop and see how that is. And that one I sort of enjoyed, but not like the first Barbershop I enjoyed, not as much as Beauty Shop.
Yeah.
The second Barbershop, I don't even think I finished that one because I was just not, why we're losing the Barbershop again? Like it,
Yeah. Out of that franchise, I would say Beauty Shop I like more than
yeah.
the Barbershop ones.
I think I just really like Queen Latifah and would like more Queen Latifah movies, more Queen Latifah comedies. So I watched those. I think that's all that I watched out of that like section of movies. I thought that I watched more, or I think I had planned to watch more, and then just like the will to watch those was gone. Yes, Queen Latifah come through, Ronald. It was very good. I really enjoyed it and would like more of Queen Latifah doing comedies. I eventually am going to go back to watching her in The Equalizer, but
Equalizer.
I watched like 4 episodes of that and she is having an emotional rift with her daughter and it stresses me out. I don't mind watching her kick ass and take names, but I cannot stand by while she and her daughter have a rift in their relationship.
Aw, are you thinking of me and you?
No, I'm thinking of Queen Latifah and her daughter. It hurts my heart. What do you mean?
Oh, you're so silly.
I can't do that is something that drives me crazy.
Well,
Um,
I can tell you it doesn't last long. So you
okay.
can you can you can get yourself through. It doesn't last long.
Okay. I'll try to pick it up again. Then Ronald is saying something about a movie robbing a bank.
Set it off.
What is that? Let me add
Set
that to the
it
list.
off. That's what he's talking about. Set it off.
I'm adding that to the list so I
I
can play
haven't
it
seen
now.
Set It Off in ages, but you should watch that one. Set It Off. Let me look it up on my other computer so that we don't make this one chug.
Yeah. Coming in to add this.
Set It Off is from 1996, so it was right when you were a baby. It's got Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith, Vivica Fox before she was annoying. And I don't know who the fourth lady was. They're not showing on this cast thing. Oh, Kimberly Elise.
I don't remember. I don't know who those last two people are. Queen Latifah, I know. Jada Pinkett Smith, I know. I don't know those other two. Oh my goodness.
If you saw Vivica Fox and Kimberly Elise, you would know who they are because they show up in a lot of black stuff, so you would recognize them.
Okay.
Okay, you look like you're in a sauna, ma'am.
I do. I don't know why that camera is so greasy.
You look like you're in a sauna.
I don't know why that camera looks like that.
But yeah, that was a good movie. It is on where can you watch it? You can rent it for $3.99 from YouTube.
Don't want to do that.
Or you can rent it for $2.99 from Apple TV. You know, I used to be like, no, I don't want to do that. And now I'm like, the price has come down enough that yes, we used to go to Blockbuster Video and rent a movie for $3.99 or $2.99. So I guess I could make
I just don't
myself
like. I don't like renting movies. Looking at Vivica Fox, I do recognize Vivica Fox, but I don't know. I don't like renting movies. Like if I'm gonna pay money for a movie, I would like to own it.
And that's, oh no. I started going backward before I was finished going forward. You
Whew.
distracted me. Um,
Not my fault. Blame Vivica Fox.
but yeah, I used to be that way where I felt like I needed to have a physical thing. If I was paying for it, I needed to have a physical thing. But I've gone almost a year, nearly 2 years with Apple Arcade,
Hmm.
playing games on Apple Arcade, which is just a monthly fee, and paying a monthly fee for which my Netflix, which I didn't realize until last week, that is now $30. $30. Yes, Blair Underwood is a fully grown man. He's too old for you, Ronald. Um, but yeah, Netflix has gone up and up and up to now I'm paying $30 for Netflix.
Hmm.
Um, technically 22 because
And I don't.
your sister's playing part of it, but still, it's
Yeah,
so
I
I think I've got
here.
I
It's
think, and we're doing Spotify.
hmm.
So I think I've gotten a little bit over the thing of, oh, if I'm handing you money, I should own the thing.
I I don't know. If I am paying monthly for a service and you're offering me an amount, then that I understand. But if I'm going to pay a one-time fee, I want to own a thing. I
Yeah.
don't like.
Yeah, that's the hurdle I'm sitting here talking about, but I still haven't bit the bullet and actually rented one of these things.
Mm-hmm. Because
And
I've rented movies before, but it was like I have a friend over tonight and we really want to watch this movie, so we will rent this movie for tonight because it is part of the experience that we want to have. But if it's just me watching a movie, then
yeah,
yeah.
that's the other thing. That's I think that's another reason why I haven't bit the bullet because I was like, well, I think I think if you and I were going to watch it together, then I would go ahead and spend the $4 and we could have a watch along on YouTube of something. But
Hmm.
just me watching it by myself, there are so many other things that are already included in my streaming services
Yep.
that I can't even bring myself to rent something else. Speaking of which, okay, whatever, Ronald.
Ronald. Not him doing
Speaking
boy
of
math
which,
over here.
is your TV a Roku TV?
Wayne's TV in the living room is a Roku TV. The
Okay, good,
TV that
good.
I'm on right now is not.
Have you checked out the Roku channel?
I have not.
I
I
was just looking at the Roku channel today, and it was like they've got a bunch of stuff on there.
is
You know,
so is the Roku channel is all the stuff on the Roku channel included in owning a Roku TV?
yes,
Oh, see, I don't know why in my head this whole time I was thinking like it's another subscription, but you just get it
no,
as part of owning a Roku device.
yes, yes.
Oh,
We don't pay for Roku TV.
I need to
It's
go look at
just
that then.
because they have ads.
Oh, okay.
So this thing's on there that was I was just flicking through it. I wasted a good 30 minutes this morning flicking through it looking at the different because the thing with Roku is that when you open it up and you have that screen and you have all your different uh
Channels.
yeah, your different little channel things and you can watch YouTube on the TV and you can watch
Hmm.
this, that, and the other. They Roku tries to snag you in by they'll have a little thing down in the bottom left corner that they're advertising some show, and all you have to do is hit your play button and it'll take you straight to it.
Hmm.
And we just finished. We're at the end of a show that we're watching right now, and they've got another little adventure show down there in the corner. And I'm like, oh well, let me check this out, see if this is something we can watch because we've only got a few more episodes left on the one we're watching. And so I click that, and it takes me to Roku TV. So I check that out, and I put that on my list. And then I started flicking through. I'm like, oh, they got. I mean, a lot of the stuff is old.
Hmm.
It's either old stuff or um.
B list or C list?
Thank you. More like D list. But it's either old stuff or like stuff from another country.
Mm.
Not necessarily like Spanish language stuff, although there's a couple Spanish language things in there. But
Or like,
it's
oh,
older,
your
or
kids want to watch Frozen. How about Ice Queen?
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I love the animated knockoffs. They're so funny.
Yeah. So, stuff like that, um it has like first episodes of things to try to get you to subscribe to BritBox or Acorn TV or something like that. It's oh yeah,
Mm.
they've got Spanish stuff
Mm.
on
Go
Roku
watch En
channel. Yeah.
Espanol, Ronald.
Yeah, they've got some Spanish stuff on Roku channel. Yeah. I really need to get back into my Spanish studies. I let um my my
Duo.
my Duolingo streak end, and Duo has just given up on me. Let me see what their
Does
face is looking like today. Mm.
what's that widget look like? I wish I had the widget.
They're just sitting there going ready to practice, and they're sitting there just
Oh,
looking all sad.
not Duo all alone, but
Yesterday,
I
Duo was laying on their back with drool coming out of their mouth, going, "Are you gonna practice?"
not Duo dying. Ronald says, but I can watch the. I'm gonna say that means videos in French. Émission.
Films in French,
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Émission.
and
Films.
also in Spanish.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to make sure I know what emissions means. Émission. Not Dani using they them for duo. We love it. Ally.
Well,
TV shows.
Duo has
Yeah,
told me what their gender is.
yeah.
So
I was gonna
I'm
say,
gonna-
has Duo revealed their gender?
whatever. Oh, TV shows. Mission's a TV show.
Okay,
Oh, that was the other thing
makes
you
sense.
reminded me. Thank you, Ronald. Is that when you go through um, the Roku channel lineup, and they're trying to get you to watch different shows, they also are trying to draw you into different. I want to call them modules. You know those different things that you can add on to the front page of your Roku
Yeah,
TV. Yeah, I want to call them modules.
I mean, I think they technically call them channels.
Yeah. And so there's one that I never heard of called the France channel, where they have French language stuff that they were trying to get me to watch. And then
Okay.
there was another one called Demand Africa. They had all these African shows that they were trying to get me to watch. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Maybe
Speaking,
I'll
we're
check
gonna
this
take
out.
a quick pause for just a second. So when I was on my way to that wedding the other day, I was driving straight through Asheville out into the heart of the woods of Biltmore or wherever all those summer homes are. And I drove past because I love looking at all the kitschy little like buildings and shops and things because I'm like, one day maybe I'll go there and look at things and go on an adventure. There was a big sign off the side that like led to like something going up behind some trees and like a building or something up there or something. But it was like explore Africa or like Africa safari or something. And it was like experience a like trip through Africa. And I'm like, what is that doing in the middle of the mountains of North Carolina? What is this? I have to go back and figure out what the heck that was. I can't remember the exact name of it. I'm going to be doing a lot of Googling later. You reminded me of that. I'm going to be doing a lot of Googling later because I have to know what that is because you're not setting me on a plane from there to Africa. So have you just stolen a lot of African things? Is it going to be like Tiger King and there's secretly a jungle? Is there an elephant in the middle of Asheville right now? What is going on?
You goofy thing.
I have
Okay,
no.
I need to get this out before we decide to stop this. I
Okay.
watched Golden Bachelor last night.
What is
Okay.
that?
I watched it live. What? They arrested the suspect in the Tupac shooting? Good Lord.
Just now?
Talk about reaching back. Well, I mean, they've been trying to investigate that for ages.
I thought that was a closed case. I thought it gone cold, done deal. I didn't realize
That's,
we were still
yeah,
looking into that.
I kind of thought they stopped that too, but well, at least they
Cheese and
found.
crackers.
I hope they found the right person and not just anybody because
Yeah.
it's been since '96. And apparently, you weren't rushing, so there's no rush to arrest the wrong person now.
Yeah, and witnesses like memories degrade and stuff, so you can't really rely on that so many years later.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Oh, crazy.
But what is
Um,
the Golden Bachelor?
Golden Bachelor. Okay, remember I have joked before when we have watched Love Island about how they need to do a show or like Too Hot to Handle.
Mm-hmm.
That show drives me crazy simply because it's like you can't wait for
Yes.
sex. It's like, come on now. If you were
It's so silly.
grown, if you were a 50-year-old, this wouldn't even be a show because
Or
they'd all go home with the money because you can wait for sex.
yeah, I was like, or
Okay.
if you have any kind of debt, if you are a millennial with any kind of debt and need money.
I don't understand these sexed up people who can't wait for sex, who are hopping from bed to bed, all this nonsense. So I always make a joke about when we watch these shows, they should do a show with somebody who is in their mature years so that they will act like they have some sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then they came out with the Golden Bachelor, and I'm like, oh, okay. This is cool. And to be fair, before they came out with this, there is a Korean show that just came out a few months ago with people who are over. I mean, they're not mature, but like they're over 30. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so they're more mature than these people who than these 21-year-olds who end up on Love Island. But yeah, so the Golden Bachelor is 70 years old.
Goodness.
He's either 70 or 71. I can't remember.
I thought you were gonna say like 50s and 60s.
But he's at least 70.
In the world of television, that is ancient.
Exactly. And so I thought, even though I'm gonna be honest, I have never made it through a full episode even of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. I have seen clips of these shows when I watch stuff like Gogglebox, but I've never made it through a full episode because I just can't sit through that show. I just can't do it. And it just never appealed to me. But I thought, well, it's somebody older. Let me give it a try since that's something I said I wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had to keep putting the show on mute to make myself not turn it off. I said, I am going to stick with this for the full hour because I was watching it live, so I couldn't fast forward past the cringy parts.
Yeah.
So because I wanted to watch it live yesterday so I could talk to you about it today. I didn't want to have to wait till next week.
Yeah.
So I watched it while your father was downstairs watching the news. And I made it through, but I had to put it on mute several times because
Why?
these women who are older than me, there was nobody my age on there. They were all older than me because he is 70. So everybody is like 60, at least 60. I think the youngest person is 60.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But they're all like 65, 70, 71 in that age group. And several of them were doing the same crazy gimmicky thing that they do on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I don't know if you've ever watched those
I've
shows,
also seen
but
clips.
yeah, I've only seen clips. But the thing that I always hear people talk about, because a couple of the podcasts I listen to, they occasionally sidetrack and talk about what's happening this season on The Bachelor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I know they do is that when they do the thing with the Bachelor stands there and each person comes up in a limousine and then steps out, so he sees them one by one as they each come out of a limousine,
Mm-hmm.
and these women and the men do the same thing when it's the Bachelorette, but these women do like gimmicky things, I guess, to try to make the guy
Like to make themselves memorable.
to make themselves memorable. And yes, Ronald, I know they're probably told to do that, but I just can't. I can't. I just can't. One woman came out and did a whole cheer. Some one woman brought him some basket of eggs or whatever. Some woman said it's my birthday, so I'm gonna show you my birthday suit, and she pretended to flash him, but she had like a flesh colored thing
Yeah.
under the thing, and but all of that was cringy to me.
Mm-hmm.
All of that was cringy to me. And I guess it makes for better TV because it gives people something to talk about. Because here I am talking to you about it, and that's what they want. They want people to talk about it the next day.
Yeah.
But in my case, it doesn't make me want to come back and
Yeah,
watch
it
it
does
next
not
week.
make you a repeat customer.
It doesn't make me want to come back and watch it next week. And at first, as I was thinking about it, I was trying to think about why does this bother me when I watch other things like Too Hot to Handle and The Circle and you
They
know,
don't look as thirsty on those other shows. Like on this show, they are like, I have to do everything possible and embarrass myself to get this man. Whereas on the other shows, it's like, well, if I don't get Joe, there's always Kyle.
yeah, I think that's the conclusion that I came to when I was thinking about it today. I was trying to collect my thoughts for why I don't like this show. And you're right. These women act like it's the end all be all. Because at first I was thinking to myself, well, it's the proportions because there's like 26 women
Mm-hmm.
and they send about 10 of them home and he's still got 16 left. I think that was the count. Because
Yeah.
I know there's 16 left, but I don't know how many there were in total, but there's 16 left. So it's like and all of these women are like, "Oh, I really want to be with him. I really want to be with him," because I know from shows in the past, one of the things that women get um chastised about from other contestants is or um they say, well, she's not here for the right reasons. That phrase gets
Uh-huh.
bandied about, and on this show it means you're not here to fall in love, or
You're just
you're
here to
not
be on
or
TV.
you're yeah, you're just here to be on TV. You're either here to forward your career or you're here to I don't know what other thing I was going to say, but yeah, you're here just to take a trip because they go to exotic places.
Mm-hmm.
So you're here either just to take a trip or just to be on TV or whatever. So you have to look like you really want to fall in love with this guy. But it's like 16 women and one guy. And the
Mm-hmm.
proportions are just off. But then again, on
Bachelor
on
Bridgerton?
no, I was thinking Farm. Yeah, Bachelor Bridgerton was the same. I was thinking, Farmer Wants a Wife,
Mm-hmm.
but on that one, they all did these mini speed dates. It wasn't like the whole gimmick thing. They
Yeah.
did the mini speed date where they talked to each person and then narrowed it down to like either 4 or 6 women that they were taking back to their ranch.
Mm-hmm.
And then even when they go back to the ranch, they are like the men are not even staying in the house. The men are staying in a trailer in the yard,
Yeah.
and the women all stay in the house. And there is no like going back to the boudoir suite or whatever, which I've heard is done on Bachelor and Bachelorette.
Mm-hmm.
It's all, it's, I mean, they may
It's
kiss,
all
and
above board.
it's all above board because the one guy who was kissing everybody, the black farmer from North Carolina, he ended up not getting anybody.
Yeah.
So
I
you can tell, I think anybody who's watching this can tell that that's rude, Ronald. That but anybody watching because I think people watch these shows before they go on them, if that makes sense. So like
yeah.
Farmer Wants a Wife, people have watched that and so now the next contestants who go on it will know, okay, this is not what works on this show. What works
So
on
yeah.
Bachelorette may not work on Farmer Wants a Wife. So I
So
can't come
it's
on here with your gimmicks and your
so
craziness.
yeah, I agree with you. I think that these shows like Bachelor and Bachelorette, they are essentially creating kind of an echo chamber of there's a season of Bachelorette, a girl does a crazy thing, she gets chosen. People watch that season, and so then all the girls that come in after that do crazy things. One of the crazy girls get chosen, and then the girls watch that and they're like, "Well, I need to do a crazier thing." And so it's like
Mhm.
it is building upon itself from the act of it being a show for people to watch. I think though that Bachelor Bridgerton, even though there were like what were there, like 20 guys and the one girl, but that one felt a lot more tame. It didn't feel as
Um,
raunchy or as trashy as raunchy is
mhm.
the wrong word. It didn't feel as trashy as Bachelorette. And I think because they have to like do all of the like we need
There was
to
there
keep up
yeah,
the
there was
regency.
there was activities and things.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched more of The Bachelor, so I don't know what kind of activities they end up with. But I know on Farmer Wants a Wife, there were activities where the whole group of women together were, working with the horses or feeding the chickens or doing the different things, you know. And then every, at least once a week, they all meet back up together with all the other farmers and all their potential mates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all, everybody's talking to each other and stuff like that. It just, I don't know,
Trashy.
it didn't feel as cringy. I just can't watch this. It didn't
Yeah,
feel it
I
just
feel you.
I want to see older women on these shows and older people on these shows, but I don't want it to be cringy like The Bachelor. And it feels like they're doing The Bachelor, but for older
But for
people,
all, yeah.
not taking into account that older people act differently. I mean, there was one woman on there who did end up getting a rose last night, who almost, she's the only thing that tempts me to possibly watch another week. I doubt that I will, but if I was, she would be the reason. And it's because she looked more like a normal person. All these other women, you could tell that they're older women, but they are older women with enough money to make sure their boobs are not sagging,
Mm-hmm.
or at least they know how they have enough money to buy a bra that will lift those boulders up.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, did they get
Every
normal old people
everybody,
or did
I
they
mean,
get Hollywood old people?
nobody had a poochie belly
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that. This one woman, I think her name was Karen or Christy or something, I can't remember, but she looked more like a normal older woman. She wasn't heavy set like me, but she still looked like a normal older woman. You could
Yeah.
see all her wrinkles. Her boobs looked like they were in the normal place. She didn't exactly have a poochie belly, but she wasn't wearing a va-va-voom, Jessica Rabbit dress
Yeah.
like a lot of the women were, and stuff like that. And she made a comment in her confessional about all these women coming up doing tricks and gimmicks and stuff like that. My only gimmick was I walked under my own power up to this man or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. So I hope he, and she said something like, I hope he can recognize that, I have a personality and I'm here. I may not be doing all these gimmicks, but I have a personality. So I liked her because she wasn't immediately talking like, "Oh my God, I'm already in love with him. I want to, I hope he picks me."
She's like, I just met this man. I need to get to know him.
I just met this man and I hope he picks me, because she didn't act like she didn't want him to pick her, but it was still, I hope he picks me so that we can get to know each other. But she wasn't. She just seemed
Yeah.
more grounded.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I do not like about The Bachelor is they will know this man for like a day and they're like, I'm in love. Oh my goodness, my life will be over if he doesn't give me the rose.
He
And I'm like, you just met
when he
this
talk
man.
when he talks to you, he makes everybody feel like they have his full attention and blah 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 blah. That's the kind of stuff they were saying last night, and I'm like, oh my god, please. So I don't think I can watch it again, but I'm glad that they're at least putting that kind of stuff out there, because there's plenty of people in my age group and older who
Hmm.
watch these shows.
Yeah.
So just like the young people are fond of saying these days, representation matters. You want to see yourself on the screen sometimes.
Hmm.
I don't care all the time, because I mean, for years all I've read is romance novels with white ladies in them. So, I don't necessarily care. But at the same time, it is nice. It doesn't have to be every time. I don't exclusively watch shows
Hmm.
with black people in them, but it's nice every once in a while to say,
Yeah.
"Hey, there's a black person who looks like people that I know."
Hmm.
Not just a high stylized black person, but a
Yeah.
black person who looks like she could live in my neighborhood, or an older woman who looks like a normal older woman.
Hmm.
You know,
I
the
get you.
only yeah, the only woman they had on there last night who looked like a normal older woman shaped like me. She was there just for the comic relief. She was Jimmy Kimmel's aunt, and he got her a chance to be on there just so she could meet the bachelor because she was curious. But she wasn't really there in the running to be with him. She was just there to meet
Okay.
him. And she was the only one who had, slightly saggy boobs, belly pooch,
Hmm.
had on sensible shoes and a pair of slacks, and
Yeah.
you know that's so, and
Real
she's
normal.
real normal, and she's like 88 years old. So
Hmm.
she wasn't there to try to date him. She was just there to try to, and the previews for the upcoming season is just him kissing every one of those women.
Of course.
And I'm like,
No matter how old you get, sometimes they just got that dog in them.
Lord Jesus. Okay, so I've been watching Court of Faded Flowers. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I'm not done with it yet, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Tell
if
me what you think when you finish it. I still have not watched it, so I would like to hear what you have to say of it. Also, while we're talking about Dropout, have you seen the preview
Why is he
for
going gross? Old people get to kiss people, Ronald. Old
while we're talking
old
about
people
it?
get to kiss people.
Have you seen the preview for the new season of Dimension
Wait a minute,
20?
he turned off Dropout. What happened?
Why did you have Dropout? Were you not enjoying the shows? Did you not? Did you just
Oh,
watch Dungeons and Drag Queens and you're done?
yeah, I think he probably just got the subscription for Dungeons and Drag Queens.
Rude. There are so many good seasons.
But yeah,
But to be fair, we are sharing Chloe's
oh
Dropout.
yeah, it
So
is gross that he's kissing all of them.
I
And
feel you, Ronald. We are sharing Chloe's Dropout, so we can't really be saying anything because Chloe's paying for it.
exactly. But yeah, I'm enjoying Court of Fade Flowers enough that it made me look at what kind of system they were using to make that game.
What system are they using?
Don't make me don't make
You're
me
good. I can go
don't
look
make
it
me
up
remember.
later.
You can go look it up. It's in a wiki there somewhere.
Yeah, I can fully look it up later.
But what did I do?
Because if it's a fairly simple system, then I could probably run a game. We could
But
get you and me and Aunt Terry together, and who else
your
could
aunt,
we get?
your aunt Terry is not doing a role playing game. I'll tell you that now. I can't
Why?
even get her to join us on BGA.
Why?
You have better willpower than I do, Ronald. I would like to turn off some services. We still want to watch Schmigadoon too, but
Hmm.
I'm like I am not subscribing to Apple Plus again until I
Until we turn something off.
turn something else off. But I can't figure out which thing that nobody's really watching much for me to turn off. But
Yeah,
because
the only
if it was just our household, I could turn anything off because we really, you know, it doesn't matter, but the rest of the family is sharing too. Speaking of which, I just read an article today. Disney Plus is following
no
down Ravelry's not Ravelry,
Netflix.
Netflix's footsteps. That
No.
you turned off BGA Premium. That was only $4, Ronald.
Ronald's got to save some money. Ronald
Ron,
needs to be able to
Ronald
fund
is
all his international trips.
Ronald is cost cutting, cost cutting. But yeah, that's how they get you. The things that are $4 here, $4 there. Next thing you know, you're spending, $50 on subscriptions.
Yep.
But
Not the Disney
but
Plus.
yeah, Disney Plus just announced that they have started in Canada, which is what Netflix did, started in Canada, restricting, people who are not in your household from using your login.
And Netflix, I can understand them saying, okay, we got some people, we're just going to let the rest of the people watch it.
And
Disney, I don't see doing that.
But Netflix also in their language, it was like, okay, only people from your household can use this. So you know, they need, here's a way for them to get an account. And they said that they have seen an increase in people in new subscriptions. Disney's language is, if you don't get these people from using your password, we are going to suspend or terminate your account. So like I'm the one paying for it, so you using it means that they will cut my account off. And I'm like, okay,
Has
do
Mickey
what you
not
do.
made you enough money?
Do what you got to do, Disney. If you're going to be hardline like that, they're trying it out in Canada though. So
Is Darth Vader not giving you the billions?
Maybe the Canadian people will let them know that that is not the language, because Netflix did not. Netflix just said, you know, your kids need to get their own account.
Mm-hmm.
Disney is trying to say, okay, we're going to punish you for sharing with the kids, so you are going to lose your account.
This
And I
is
don't think that's the way.
this is my formal announcement to Canada. You are our last hope. They're testing it out with you. We need you to stay strong, stand strong, and let them know this is not okay. You need to do this because if they break through your line, you are the final line, Canada. If they break through your line, they're going to do this for everybody. So I need y'all to stand strong and say we don't support this aid.
You're goofy. But I thought I'd mention that. Um,
Hurts
stuff
my
your
heart.
Kindle. Stuff your Kindle. Brief mention. Apparently, I just found this out a few weeks ago. Apparently, there is a blog that has organized this thing called Stuff Your Kindle, where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of indie authors, they do it like either 3 times or 4 times a year. And so the most recent one was last week or the week before, where for 2 days you can. There's a lot of different authors who are offering their books for free. For free as in, because a lot of people were mixing that up with Kindle Unlimited, but for free as in you own the book, not
Okay.
like not
Not
like
like you're renting with the
you're
streaming.
renting the book like I do with Kindle Unlimited. You own the book, and they call it Stuff Your Kindle, but actually there were links to, stuff your Nook, stuff your iPad, so you can
Ooh.
get it in different get the same books in different formats. And it's mostly romance, but they also partnered with a another blog that does cozy mysteries, and the
Mm-hmm.
cozy mystery blog was doing the same thing. So I downloaded a bunch. Even though I went just 2 years ago, I went through a thing where I was getting rid of all these books. Because when I first discovered ebooks a good 6, 7 years ago, I every free book that was being offered, I was just downloading stuff,
Mm-hmm.
just downloading, downloading, downloading. But for the most part, the books I was actually reading came from my library. So I
Mm-hmm.
so I went through a period, even though I wasn't running out of room by any means on my iPad, I went through a period where I was just culling all these books. So I'd open them up, I'd read a few pages. If I wasn't enjoying it, delete. Or if I was enjoying it, I read it and then delete. Because
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to clean off, even though my house is cluttered, when it comes to my electronics, I have this thing where it bothers me to have a bunch of stuff that I don't need on my hard drive. I think it's back from the days where hard drives used to be small and you would
Mm-hmm.
run out of room really quickly. So I got in the habit of deleting stuff that I don't need, that I'm not going to use or
I wish I
whatever.
was in that habit. I keep far too many things on my devices.
And so it just bothers me to have a clutter of things that I don't need or I'm not going to read or whatever. So I went through and got rid of a bunch of stuff before. And usually I keep like 4 or 5 books on there that I purposely don't read right away, so that when we're on vacation, if there's downtime, I have something to read.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I just ruined all of that. And because also right before we went on vacation, sorry, there was a bug. I was in the middle of, not in the middle, but do you ever get this feeling? You know how most people, like at the beginning of the year or maybe in the spring, they get this feeling of, "Oh, I need to do, spring cleaning, and I need to, clear out all these things and stuff like that." Well, for me, I get that feeling around September. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why, but around September. At first, I thought it was odd for just this September, but then I started looking back at some of my old blogs and old, journal entries and different things like that and realized, no, I do this pretty much
Mm-hmm.
every September. I get in this feeling of, oh, I need to clear out a bunch of stuff, not just like in my house, but on my electronics, just in
Mm-hmm.
all phases of life. I feel like I need to, set up new projects, clear out old things,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And so I was determined that I was not going to download any more books. I was not going to add any more books to my to be read list. I was just going to read the things I already had on my list. And then, right when I made that decision, they came out with this Stuff Your Kindle thing, and I downloaded at least 20 books. So, but
Crazy.
now from now till the end of the year, I'm trying my best not to download any more books or add
Uh-huh.
any more books to my TBR list. I have a specific list, um, which I call my KU wait list, because Kindle Unlimited only lets you have 20 books at a time checked out.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when I hear of a book that I'm interested in, but I don't have any room on, because I already have all 20 checked out, I add it to this wait list for later. So
Mm-hmm.
my goal is to not add any more books to the wait list, just start reading those books in the wait list, which I think I'm going to have good luck with that, because a lot of the books that are in the wait list now, the main reason I did not check them out right away and read them is because I tend to be a seasonal reader. And a lot of the books are either Halloween books, Thanksgiving books, Christmas books, or New Year's books. That's pretty much what I've got sitting on my wait list right now. So I feel like I can go ahead and start with the Halloween books and
Mm-hmm.
read all the holiday books through to the end of the year.
I need to find something like that, but for audiobooks.
So that's my goal
Where
for
can I find the
you.
free
You might
audiobooks?
want to hold off on that.
Oh,
Like Christmas is coming up, you might want to hold off on that.
okay. Also, did you send that fly from your house through the web?
I think I
You
did.
swatted, and then all of a sudden I'm looking around, there's a fly in my face.
I think I did.
How dare you take it back?
Okay, one thing I did read on KU that I am going to mention real quick. I'm not going to
This
go
is
into
your
any
last thing. It is we 2 hours and 45 minutes, mother.
Okay.
You're like
So,
2 hours, and we're gonna wrap it up. And then we kept talking.
okay, well, if this is my last thing, what, oh gosh, I need to pick what am I going to mention?
Yeah.
Oh
The
no.
pressure, the
Oh
pressure,
no. Oh no.
the pressure.
Which thing do I want to mention? Um um
There's lots of things there. You gotta pick one.
um oh no. Oh no, I don't know. Um, um, okay, I'm gonna talk about YouTube then.
Okay.
Okay, I have been watching two YouTube channels. I have been watching the Vintage Dietitian
Okay.
and Cooking the Books. The Vintage Dietitian is an example of what. Well, both of these are an example of, I wish that I could. What's the word? What's the word?
You wish that you could.
What's the word?
What is the word?
I always thought that I wanted a theme. If I was going to do a YouTube channel or a podcast, that I
Mm-hmm.
want a theme for it. Some sort of thing. And both of these channels have a theme that, um
Theme locks you down. You feel confined with a theme.
yeah, I know, but I always feel like there should be a gimmick or something that you go with. And I just, because it reminds you of things to do while you're, oh good, they're both lined up so I can show them both. Okay. But vintage dietitian, this woman is a dietitian, but she also had her hobby is vintage things, collecting vintage things.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has combined them both in her channel. She found this book from called Women's World's 52 Sunday Dinners.
The apron is so cute.
And so every week she is doing that week's dinner from the cookbook, and the cookbook is from like the 1930s.
Cute.
And so she's doing that week's dinner from the cookbook. And she's fun to watch because she is a combination of it says week 38, but her channel has only been going for like a couple months because
So she started in the middle.
yeah, she started where she was. So she started like at week 30 or something because that was when she found the book. And so she started the channel there, rather than waiting till the beginning of the year to start at week 1. So she just started this channel a few months ago. But she see 35-cent book, so it's ancient.
Mm-hmm.
But she's fun to watch because she can cook, but she can cook kind of like I can cook. She's not like an expert chef. She's really not good at baking at all. And she knows some of the basics, but then there's some terms in the cooking thing that she doesn't know. Like she didn't understand what it meant to like fold in the egg whites kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And so you see a lot more disasters on her channel. And
Okay.
I'm not turning tuning in just for the disasters, but it's like she's just following it week to week. She's not like cherry picking, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that. She's
Mm-hmm.
following it week to week. She's doing the best that she can, but she'll use modern appliances. Because I've watched some of these.
Oh, have I lost you? Oh, and my camera went out. What's going on? You gotta stop the video, mother. It's chugging. Ronald, can you still hear me? I know that I'm still here. Ronald, can you hear me? People out in the universe. Do we exist? Are we here? Hello. Her computer said, "Why are you trying to play this video while you're streaming? It's not. It's not the thing." Yep. I figured. I think her computer is trying to shut down. Oh, is it gonna cut out? Where is it gonna be just Big Me? It's just Big Me. Hey, I got the whole screen. I got the whole screen. I have nothing to talk about because this is going to be the last thing, and then I was going to take a nap. Actually, I don't think I'm going to take a nap. I've got my pasta machine right here. This is the handle for it that I wish this locked in place, but it doesn't. It just kind of slides in and you crank it. But I've got my pasta machine over here ready to flatten out some polymer clay because I'm going to be making some earrings. Yeah, I don't know if she knows that she froze. I'm gonna text her. If I send her a message in the thing, then she will probably not see it. So I'm gonna send her a text message. And my camera's going out. Oh my lord. This camera just does not. I should switch cameras. Actually, is this also USB? This is also USB. So we're gonna do a lot of stuff. Chloe, I know that you're listening right now. I'm going to need you to cut out all of these technical difficulties. We're just going to cut out any gaps unless I say something absolutely hilarious, in which case make sure you leave it in. Also, Chloe, every time that my camera cuts out, I want you to edit in a hilarious picture over the square where my face would be. And just another hilarious picture every single time. I don't care what they are. Just find some funny pictures and edit them in. Even funnier, edit in just like funny GIFs over the square where my picture would be, so that people can see funny things until my camera turns back on. Can you do all that for Chloe in your editing? Can you do that? Also, Bucket, recap it. Don't listen to the man. I'm not gonna struggle with trying to switch this camera right now. The camera out there, but I'm not gonna struggle with trying to switch this right now because it's almost the end of the stream. Are you back?
What did I not know? What were y'all doing while I was gone?
Nothing. It's for us to know and you to find out afterwards in the VOD.
I don't believe you. Okay, y'all are gonna hit me if you
Why?
can reach me. But it never occurred to me until just now
What?
that I am
So
that
silly.
I'm sitting here in the office
Uh-huh.
and I am right here next to the Ethernet cable.
Mother.
So I could just, instead of trying to rely on the Wi-Fi, I could just take the Ethernet cable off of my work computer and put it on this computer
So
while we're
silly.
doing the stream so we wouldn't have these problems.
So silly.
But somebody will
Can't.
have to remind me of that next week. But we
I'll
have
remind you next week.
to be fair, we haven't had problems for the last couple streams. So maybe that's why I didn't think of it. Yes, I'm streaming on Wi-Fi, Ronald.
I'm also streaming on Wi-Fi, but I got that good Wi-Fi. You don't see me cutting out.
Yes, I'm streaming on Wi-Fi. What do you mean no never? I was sitting in here I mean my box is right here. Right here.
Doesn't
So
matter.
I thought I was close enough to the box that the Wi-Fi would be fine. And we don't have problems every week, so it never occurred to me to hook because to be fair, this Ethernet cable I never disconnected from my work computer. It's always just my work computer is a laptop, but technically it never moves, so it might as well be a desktop. So I just leave it there.
Also, my other camera keeps crapping out, so we're gonna have the greasy, like it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas fuzzy camera for the rest of the stream.
You have a thing that lets you use the wired connection on both PCs. Well, usually this PC is in my bedroom. This is the PC we're streaming on now. It's um it's a little more powerful than my work PC, and so I use it for my gaming, and it's in my bedroom. So that's why I don't do a wired situation with this one, because but it never occurred to me that I could go ahead and do it for the stream since I'm sitting this close to it. But
So silly.
so anyway, I'm not going to bring the YouTube back up since I made a mess. But why? But vintage dietitian is interesting if you
Mhm.
want some background sound. She's just cooking a whole Sunday dinner, and she'll do a little bit the night before, and then she'll and it's all from this one particular book. Which, like I said, that's the kind of thing that I wished I had the idea to do, the idea and the energy to
But once you
do.
finish the book, then what do you do?
I don't know, maybe get a different book. I don't know.
See, that's the thing with
But
having a theme is if something happens and the theme has to end, then what do you do? It's like those
uh,
podcasts that are like, this podcast is going to be about us watching The Bachelor. What do you do if they stop making seasons of The Bachelor?
I don't know. But in addition to this, the other one that I watch that I've been watching, and these are podcasts that I just started watching like the last 2 weeks.
Hmm.
This other one is, but this other lady, she has had her podcast for like 2 years,
YouTube
and
channel.
it or her YouTube channel for 2 years, and it is called Cooking the Books, and she is a cookbook collector. So
Ooh.
she collects a lot of vintage cookbooks, but she collects a lot of vintage kitchen stuff, mainly cookbooks, but also like aprons and a lot of cookware I started getting attracted to her channel because a lot of like the casserole dishes and stuff that she has in her kitchen I remember from when I was a kid.
Aw,
And so
the
she has a
nostalgia.
lot of she has like a whole shelf of different cookbooks. And she has cooked from the cookbook that I got for Christmas, the Betty Crocker one, Betty Crocker
Hmm.
picture cookbook. She made a whole day of meals from that one. And so she goes between her Betty Crocker cookbooks, her Better Homes and Gardens cookbooks. She just has a lot of different ones, and she just bounces back and forth. Sometimes she just picks a recipe and does it because it looks weird. Sometimes she did a thing of like, here's a whole day of eating out of one cookbook, which was from
Ooh.
like the 1930s.
Hmm.
Or so here's a whole day of eating like the 1930s. Here's a whole day of eating like the 1980s. Here's a whole day of eating like whatever. And she'll pick one cookbook from that era and
Hmm.
and eat. And the only downside of of these shows is that they make me think that I want to cook, and I know I don't. Cause I barely cooked when you guys were kids, and I had to feed y'all.
Hmm.
I don't like to cook. I think we've discussed this before. I don't like to cook
You
for
like the
like
idea of cooking.
well, no, I don't like to cook for like daily, I need to feed myself sustenance.
You like cooking as a craft.
Yes, I like cooking as a craft. I want to try this recipe, and see how it turns out. But then I'm done with it. I don't want to make it all the time.
Hmm.
I just want to try it once because it looks interesting, you know. So, and the vintage thing on top of that appeals to me, trying a recipe that was from the 1930s or the 1950s or whatever.
Hmm.
That appeals to me as well, but I don't want to. But again, it's like a craft. I also would like to knit a sweater from a 1940s pattern. I don't want you know to
Yeah,
always knit that way, but I would like to do it
to
once.
try it. Yeah.
Okay, so since you are determined that you need to go take a nap, I
Three
guess.
hours, mother.
What? Wait a minute. When I was the one who was saying that we need to try to hold this to an hour, you were like, "Oh, we've got time. We've got
That's because I
time."
was awake. Now I am exhausted. I had 5 hours of sleep. Do you not see my name? This is Artemis the Fatigued. Is so serious, and I need to take a nap, and I need to make things for a market that I've got to go to tomorrow. And because I no longer live in Mars Hill, I have to get up and drive 30 minutes to get there, which means I have to get up even earlier.
Oh no,
We
bummer,
gotta wrap this up,
bummer.
and I
I'm
gotta get
with
this
you. I
fly.
I I feel like I want to go take a nap myself. So, because that's how I felt all week. I've had to talk myself into work every day this week. It's like
Hmm.
I get up and I tell myself, okay, you only have to work 2 hours. 2 hours is a respectable amount of time. You only have to work 2 hours, and if anybody asks you, you weren't feeling well, which nobody ever asks me. Nobody ever asks me, but this is what I say to myself. But then, of course, I end up working more than 2 hours. But at least that's how I con myself. You would think I would know better because I know the con, but still, I tell myself, you only have to work 2 hours. You only
Last
have to work
night,
2 hours.
before I went to work, I was fully contemplating, is there a way that I could quit my job right now and still be okay? And not go in tonight. And I was like, no, I've come to the conclusion that no, I cannot quit my job. And then I went into work and I almost had a full meltdown because my manager ordered stuff and then the higher up managers ordered stuff on top of that. So there was literally so
They
much
did
stuff for us
that
to put away.
again?
Yes, they do it all the time. And there was literally so much stuff to put away. And there's so much extra stuff that's overstock that we waste time moving the boxes back and forth to get rid of the overstock that doesn't need to go out. And then they complain about how much space is in the back. Like, why is there so much overstock back there? Because you ordered 700 things. And they're like, why is there still stuff on the floor? Why are you guys taking so long to put everything things away? Because you ordered like 700 fucking things. And so I was sitting there putting things away on the shelf. And I was like, there's no way that I could just not work. I have to have money to live. I have to have money to
Mhm.
have my apartment. I have to, and I'm like, and working, and like, there's no way that I could just not do this for a while. And I nearly had a breakdown on the floor of I have to work for the rest of my life. I nearly had a
Mhm.
full breakdown on the floor. I was like, I cannot do this for the rest of my life. Even my business, I enjoy my business, but like the thought of working for the
Yes.
rest of my life, if I think about it too hard, I will have a full breakdown.
Yep. Yep.
It's awful.
Yep.
it is just that time. I think I'm getting the SADS, the seasonal affectiveness disorder, the seasonal depression, because it's getting chilly, so I'm not getting all the warm sun and vitamin D anymore, any more vitamin D. And we had the vacation that I've been looking forward to all year, so I am not getting another vacation for
Uh,
another year.
yeah.
And it's just
I can't even think as far ahead as the vacation for the year. I'm like on Tuesday going, oh God, when do I get to sleep in again? Just hang on till Saturday. Just hang on till Saturday. Just hang on till Saturday.
it's awful. It's
I
awful. It's
know.
awful.
I know.
This is a sad
I
note to
know.
end everything on. If you're watching after the fact and you feel pressed upon your heart by the Lord to put a comment of either a car, because my landlady done got her car sold, or a comment of a coffee, because I am going to probably take a nap, but more than likely I'm just going to drink some coffee and get some things done.
We thank you for watching. We thank you for hanging out with us. We just thank you.
Special thanks to people in the chat, Ariadis, Ronald, and
Yes.
if you come into the chat, maybe I'll
And
mention your
our
name. I'll give you a
semi-goth.
nickname.
Yes.
Special
Yes.
thanks to Chloe too, and Bucket. Fight the man, Bucket.
Yes, this is a weird way to wind down, but I think I used up what little bit of energy I summoned up for this video. And
My brain is in shutdown mode.
now that you're telling me it's over, my body is starting to slump. So I guess we're gonna end this thing now. But we do look forward to hanging with you next week so that we can show you whatever we got done this past week.
And next Saturday, y'all be on time, because next Saturday is First Friday, which means I have an event, which means I got to get out of here. So we're gonna have a hard
I
out at 4.
hard out at 4. Well, I will be on time. We'll try not to run our mouths too much.
But
Hard
that's why people hang out with us.
hard out at 4. All right. Bye y'all.
Bye. I gotta get some clay in this pot.